National Football League.
Hello, friends. Jim Nantz. Welcome back to the NFL Today. Coming up here on CBS, the Miami Dolphins take on the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams 9-3 on the season. A pair of outstanding wide receivers showcased here today. Chris Chambers, who has caught 5 touchdowns in the last 3 games, going against the 49ers' Terrell Owens, who leads the league with 13 touchdown catches. It's the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers straight ahead. We'll see it back here at halftime. Enjoy the game on CBS.
Subway presents Fresh Starts, a tribute to the emerging teams and players making the unexpected happen. Subway, eat fresh. Head coach Mike Sherman's Packers are atop the NFC Central after running back Amon Green rushed for 125 yards in a 17-7 victory over the Bears in Week 13. The Patriots are making a postseason surge behind the running of Antoine Smith, who scored 2 touchdowns in a 27-16 win over the Browns.
You remember Jared from Subway? Turns out he's inspired a lot of people.
He's still looking good. He'll show you the way. His name is Jared, and he'll lead you to Subway. That's where it goes, along with the rest. For 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less.
What an inspiration. Subway. Eat fresh.
Look at this workmanship. You'd make a lot of lira selling these in New York.
Yeah, look at these prices. These guys don't know what they got.
They're clueless. Try asking the old guy if he can handle a production of 10,000 of these.
No problem, signora.
What's it say?
They have 2 million units warehoused in New Jersey.
New Jersey?
New Jersey. New Jersey.
The right infrastructure can take your business anywhere, even New Jersey.
Bye-bye.
Catcher's mitt for son, $47. Catcher's mitt that comes with Space Camp for son, priceless. This holiday season, use your MasterCard and you can 5 priceless gifts to give to your family and friends, including a trip to Space Camp. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
They defined the position they played, synonymous with the cities in which they played. So how do you follow such legends?
Garcia drops back, going to try to dive for it. He does. Touchdown, 49ers. Into the end zone. Garcia. Extra tackle. He'll go. Touchdown, 49ers. Exactly what the Dolphins need. Fiedler looks, fires near side. Touchdown, Miami. Into the end zone. Nobody there. He'll run. Runs for the touchdown.
Jeff Garcia, Jay Fiedler, acknowledge the past, play for the present. It's the Dolphins and 49ers. From San Francisco, 2 premier teams test their playoff potential. Miami and San Francisco, both 9-3. 49ers, only the Rams have a better record in the NFC, and in the AFC East, Miami with the lead. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Candlestick Point. Dick Enberg, if this were a horse race, you'd want to wait for the final stretch run because these 2 teams have a habit of coming from behind. 5 times Miami has won trailing in the 4th quarter. In San Francisco, they've done it 4 times, 3 in overtime. So hang around. And the 49ers, Dan Dierdorf, present the #2 offense in the league.
And their big 3, Dick, are all having wonderful years. Everybody knows about Jeff Garcia and his 24 touchdown passes. And, of course, Terrell Owens having a wonderful year. But it's really the feat of Garrison Hurst leading this team offensively. He'll go over 1,000 yards today.
So the Niner offense against the Miami defense.
And, of course, a couple of Pro Bowlers on the other side of the ball. And Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas having wonderful years. Great team speed, and they hit.
And a sellout crowd in San Francisco, and down on the field is Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, one of the things we heard from a lot of the 49ers players is how tight Miami's corners will play your receivers today. You don't see that a lot. How do you prepare?
We don't see as much man-to-man coverage as Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain will play. They play a lot more man-to-man than anybody in the league, I think. They're very good at it, and they expect to get to the quarterback with a 4-man rush most of the time.
Coach, thank you. Dick?
Thank you, Bonnie. It's 51 degrees. 51 degrees. Very little wind, fortunately, here on Candlestick Point. 3Com Stadium, as the Miami Dolphins will kick it off to the 49ers. Paul Smith and Vinny Sutherland deep as Mare tries to rub a wrinkle in the football before kicking off. Mare, as we look ahead, should he be involved in some field goal opportunities, the best record in the league, 15 for 16. Vinny Sutherland, a rookie from Purdue, he was on the catching end of a lot of Drew Brees' passes with the Boilermakers a year ago. Very quick. And San Francisco predicting it won't be long before he takes one the distance. He has a 65-yard kickoff return this year. Here's the opening kickoff. Mare sends a low liner to one of the upbacks, Paul Smith. And Smith is toppled as he reaches the 30-yard line. Travis Minor in on the tackle for Miami. Jeff Garcia following in the footsteps of the Montanas and Steve Youngs and holding up his end. Look at those numbers, 24 and 12, the touchdown to interception ratio. Although he had his off game against St. Louis a week ago, only 13 for 36. And much of the talk this week is for Garcia with the aid of his teammates emotionally to get back on track. Quick, accurate passer. Free agent out of San Jose State. He hands off to Garrison Hurst, and Zach Thomas is right there to greet him along with Pat Surtain. 49ers line up this way to start. Deese in his 10th year. Brown 16 seasons. Newberry, Fiore, and Gregg up front. Garrison Hurst at running back. Fred Beasley's the blocker. Terrell Owens, 13 touchdown catches, leads the NFL. J.J. Stokes, another big, tall receiver, and Eric Johnson, the rookie tight end from Yale University. Second down, call it 9. Garcia rolling and throwing. Incomplete. Fred Beasley, the closest scarlet shirt. Kenny Mixon, the defensive end for Miami, applying the pressure. It's 3rd and 9, and here are the Dolphins starters. Mixon, Big Tim Bowens, Haley, and Jason Taylor having another Pro Bowl year for Miami. Rogers, Zach Thomas, the leading tackler, and the rookie Greenwood at linebacker. They say these two at the corner may be the best in the league, Surtain and Madison, with Marion and Walker at safety. Dave Wanstead, second season as the Miami head coach. He was the assistant head coach under Jimmy Johnson 3 years ago. 3rd and 9. Garcia steps away from pressure, throws incomplete through the hands of J.J. Stokes. Brian Walker was there looking for the carom.
Well, like all the 49er receivers, J.J. Stokes has magnificent size. Look at him working against his press coverage, and the grab. Wow, what a grab at the line of scrimmage by Sam Madison. That's that'll inhibit a guy's release off the line, won't it?
That's not only pressing, but that's ironing. Back to kick is the rookie punter for San Francisco, Jason Baker, with Jeff Ogden at the other end for Miami. Ogden at the 22. Hit immediately. Good coverage from George McCullough. 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Dolphins have the ball. And out comes Jay Fiedler. Like his counterpart, Jeff Garcia, undrafted out of college, played at Dartmouth. 16 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. But the real key is what he's done as a starter, winning 20 times and losing just 8, second best among active NFL quarterbacks through 28 games. Fiedler from the 22. Lamar Smith with over 100 yards against Indianapolis on Monday night. The fake to him, and then Fiedler scrambles and slides at the 29-yard line after a gain of 7. Let's check the starting lineup for Miami offensively. It's Folau, Irwin for the injured Mark Dixon, Ruddy, Perry, and Wade up front. In the backfield, Lamar Smith, Rob Conrad, the blocker, Oronde Gadsden, and James McKnight, the big, tall wide receivers. Hunter Goodwin, the blocking tight end. On second down and 4, the toss to Smith. Gets to the corner and picks up the first down before the 49ers can bump him out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. Lance Shoulders leading the way along with Derek Smith. And here are the 49ers starters. And Chike O'Keefer starts in the place of John Engelberger at defensive end. Young and Stubblefield, the beef inside. Andre Carter, the #1 pick, at the other end. Peterson Smith leads in tackles. Jamie Winborn, another rookie from Vanderbilt. He starts for the injured Jeff Ulbrich. It's Plummer. 7 interceptions for Ahmed Plummer, Bronson, Shoulders, and Webster in a young secondary. 3 wides on first down at the 33. Fiedler steps up, throws long, intercepted by Zach Bronson. He fumbles. It's picked up by Lance Shoulders, and Shoulders gets it to the 44-yard line. That'll please the San Francisco faithful.
Well, Jay Fiedler has to step up because he's getting pressured from behind. Andre Carter puts on an awfully good rush coming around the corner, and the ball, watch the left-hand side of your screen. Here comes Carter. Fiedler senses him, has to step up, and then can't step into the ball. But boy, does he overcompensate trying to get it to McKnight. It just sails. And how's that for a good hop? From Bronson right to Shoulders.
So Garcia and the 49ers with the first turnover will start from their own 44-yard line. Shoulders, interestingly, came up with that ball. He was coached by Fiedler at Hofstra a few years ago. The handoff inside to Hurst, and he burrows for 3 or 4. Tim Bowens and others there for the stop.
Well, Jay Fiedler, Dick, had 3 weeks without an interception and was feeling really good about that and the way that he was taking care of the football. And it had been a real problem for him early in the season, even though the Dolphins have a glossy 1-loss record, and that is a discouraging way, needless to say, to get started on the road. That streak has come crashing to a halt.
Second down and 5. And it's Hurst again into the secondary. 1 man to beat, and finally dragged down inside the 30-yard line by Thomas and Marion. Garrison Hurst, what a story as he shoots for a 1,000-yard season.
Snazzy play here. They give it to Hurst and then fake the reverse afterwards. And you can see how everybody in Miami, it froze them just temporarily, not realizing that Garrison Hurst had the football. The fake to Sutherland as he came around, it seemed to freeze everybody for Miami. Good blocking, but you can see Zach Thomas, who normally would flow to that play in a hurry, just hesitated long enough in the middle that he was in a trailing position.
23-yard play. Here's Hurst again up the middle and hit down at the 23-yard line after a gain of nearly 4 yards.
That was that was an interesting looking play. New play calling scenario here in San Francisco this year. Marty Morningweg, who was their offensive coordinator, of course now the head coach of the Detroit Lions. Greg Knapp, who was the quarterback coach, now elevated to offensive coordinator. And he calls the plays, but of course I think we all realize Steve Mariucci heavily involved. He's not shy about using the veto and the override powers anytime.
Second and a long 5. Owens in motion. Garcia throws complete. It's Hurst again, and he's close to another first down. Has it at the 12-yard line as Kenny Mixon, trailing the play, made the stop.
Well, Jeff Garcia, a great movement guy, reminiscent of Young in Montana, as Dick said earlier, buys the extra time. He hurt his knee about 7 weeks ago against Chicago. It's limited some of his mobility. For the first time last week, he didn't wear the brace he had been wearing, but movement, such a huge part of Jeff Garcia's game.
Terrell Owens lines up in the backfield. Garcia then throws to him. And it's Owens straight arm and then pushed out of bounds and then hit again. And a flag goes in the air. That'll be a personal foul against the Dolphins.
Boy, how about the hit he put on Terry Cousin, who came up and tried to tackle Terrell Owens. That's treating a would-be tackler rather shabbily.
Ron Winter, the referee, signals personal foul on the late hit out of bounds.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 54 defense contacted the runner after he was out of bounds. Penalized half the distance to the goal.
All right, it's just a little flare here to Owens. Watch the stiff arm right here. Well, that's pretty tough for Terry Cousin. But there's Owens who gives it up. You know, Zach Thomas was on his knees and sliding over there. Does he get hit into him? Boy, I've seen some unnecessary roughness, and that's pretty far down the scale.
First and goal, and Kevin Barlow down close to the 1-yard line. The rookie from the University of Pittsburgh, Derek Rogers, made the stop. It'll be second and goal for San Francisco. And this first quarter, Dan, has been very unkind to the 49ers. They have only 3 touchdowns the entire year in the first period, outscored 75-24. When you consider the fact they're 9-3, they've had to battle from behind most of the season. They're on the doorstep now as Garcia checks the white jersey Dolphin defense from the 2. Barlow moves its way into the end zone for the touchdown. Kevin Barlow's 3rd rushing touchdown of the year.
Well, it's all about power when you're talking about Kevin Barlow. 6'1", nearly 240 pounds. And he is just a real man when it comes to going between the tackles. Just a perfect counterpoint to Garrison Hurst, who's more of a cutback runner, has more of a burst. But Barlow definitely the guy that supplies the muscle up on the short yardage situation.
Jose Cortez, you saw the article in USA Today this year, the first ever El Salvadorian to play in the NFL. Barlow's 2-yard run gives the 49ers the early lead.
Just go to Southwest.com by December 27th for Southwest Airlines $39 to $99 internet specials.
You are now free to move about the country.
Where are we going? To see the lights.
Could this be more perfect?
You tell me.
This magic moment.
Unwrap the magic at JCPenney with stunning quarter-carat diamond pendants, earrings, and rings, just $99.99 each. From the only place with gifts sure to make her light up.
It's all inside.
JCPenney.
Oh, say, can I have the new software IT didn't approve?
Fred, I promised someone remote access. What is remote access?
At CDW, we understand what it can be like in IT. That's why we have top name brands in stock, so you get the solutions you need when you need them. Like the HP NetServer LP2000R, great performance and manageability, and a 2U rack-optimized server, only from HP.
Fred, here is another request that can't be done in time.
HP and CDW, computing solutions built for business.
The ex-Panther from Pittsburgh, Kevin Barlow, with a touchdown, 56 yards in 7 plays after the interception by Bronson. Fumble recovered by his teammate Shoulders. 49ers very impressive in that 56-yard drive in 7 plays. Cortez to Chris Chambers, the rookie from Wisconsin, who has 7 touchdowns receiving. Very fast, and he bursts across the 30 to the 31-yard line, tackled by Jimmy Williams. Timeout. 8:37 left in the opening quarter.
Americans are asking what is expected of us.
What is expected of us?
What is expected of us?
We ask you to live your lives.
Do your business.
Do your business around the country.
Fly and enjoy
America's great destination spots.
Take your family.
Enjoy life.
The way we want it to be enjoyed.
Greatness is found.
Greatness is found.
When American character.
And American courage.
American courage.
Can overcome American challenges.
And we will.
And we will.
Drinking a Pepsi.
Actually, this isn't a Pepsi. It's new Pepsi Twist with lemon. And I'm not Hallie Eisenberg.
I'm Halle Berry.
Drinking Pepsi Twist.
Well, it's not exactly Pepsi Twist. It's Diet Pepsi Twist. And I'm not exactly Halle Berry.
You know.
I'm Barry Bostwick.
Who is Barry Bostwick?
Like twists? Try new Pepsi Twist in regular and diet. A lemon twist on that great Pepsi taste.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Cadillac, the fusion of design and technology. And by the Travel Industry Association of America.
Golden Gate Bridge was built in the late 1930s, spanning into Marin County, and you don't see that picture very often.
Been here a lot of times, Dick, in December. That might be the first time I've ever seen that flag just hanging that limp.
From the 31, they fake the reverse, hand off to Lamar Smith. He's tackled, no fumble. Ball had been whistled dead. Bryant Young made the stop for San Francisco.
Let's go back and look at Kevin Barlow's. First of all, great block by Newberry, the center. Ray Brown, the left guard. And then look at that lead block by Fred Beasley as he removes Zach Thomas. And Zach on his way off the field, well, yeah. I think he's given the raspberries to the officiating crew for calling him for that personal foul when he slid in there on his knees. That was a dubious call.
Second down, 13. Smith again. Very little as Andre Carter, the 265-pound rookie, #1 pick. He was the 7th player selected out of the University of California. Showed his speed. He's well-bred as daddy. Reuben Carter, a long-time interior defensive lineman with the Denver Broncos.
Now a coach with the Jets.
Third down and 11.
I played against Reuben Carter, Andre's father, and he was a tough move off the line of scrimmage. When Reuben settled in, boy, you weren't going to root him off the ball.
Out of the shotgun, Fiedler. That's McKnight in motion. He's going long for Chambers. He's open, but the ball thrown too long. Chris Chambers, who leads all NFL rookie receivers with 7 touchdowns, and he was in the clear.
Well, that's twice now on a deep pass that Jay Fiedler has misfired, both of them with too much air under the football. He has a wide open Chris Chambers, and if that's a touchdown if he's got the ball anywhere near Chambers, because Chambers had plenty of time to adjust to the ball, but it was just too far where he couldn't.
Matt Turk, a dying spiral. Vinny Sutherland comes up to the 35 and then is met rudely after 2 yards by Tommy Hendricks. Timeout. 7-0 San Francisco.
It's the time when wishes come true. Drop in for the season's best from Cadillac. Visit your local Cadillac dealer.
singing songs of joy and peace. So wish I had a river I could skate away on. I wish I had a river so long.
Fight the good fight, fellas. Come home soon.
I just want to say thank you from this proud American.
Wish I had a river.
You don't even know me, and you're risking your life for me. Thank you.
Monday, if you're looking for some holiday cheer, come on over to Ray's house.
When we go to Macy's, you can punch Santa and kick an elf.
Then Tim Conway and Vicki Lawrence reunite on Yes Dear.
How was your trip?
Natalie and I joined the Mile High Club.
What?
Sky Mile.
An all-new Yes Dear at a special time after an all-new Raymond, CBS Monday.
And welcome back to San Francisco. Reminder, log on to NFL.com. Vic Carucci breaks down the Packers' offensive approach and how it's resulted in their position atop the NFC Central. Just go to NFL.com, America Online, keyword NFL.com. And the keyword for the 49ers is running the football this year. And that's Kevin Barlow, the touchdown maker, picking up a first down. They're number 2 in the league, running the ball, number 2 offense in the league.
Well, another outstanding job of blocking here by the 49er offensive line. Look at the hole, and then it's a broken tackle right there as he's able to get away from Ernest Grant. And we talked about the power of Kevin Barlow. Look at him run right through this tackle. That's a defensive lineman, gets an arm on him and barely slows him down.
Ernest Grant had his mitts on him, but Barlow picks up the first down at the 47, a gain of 11. Garcia wide open is Barlow, and he's to the 39. Another San Francisco first down. Zach Thomas with the stop. It is a great change of pace between Hurst and Barlow.
Watch the move that Barlow puts on Zach Thomas. Ooh, look at that fake right there. He spins Zach all the way around. Boy, for a big guy, that was a nifty little feint to the right and then coming back to the left. And Zach, look at him pound the ground. He knew he'd been had.
14 yards. They pick up the blitz. Barlow is stuck this time. No gain. May have lost a yard. It was Derek Rogers supporting Tim Bowens. Bowens burrowing in. And here comes Garrison Hurst back into the game, relieving Barlow.
Well, what a luxury for Greg Knapp and for Steve Mariucci to have 2 backs that they can trust, especially given the fact that Garrison Hurst coming back after 2 years out of the league. But look at the rushing averages. Here are the keys right here, 5-1 and 4-4. When you've got 2 backs that are averaging those kind of numbers, that's awfully strong. And of course, they're rushing for nearly 150 yards a game.
The team is averaging 4.8.
Yeah, that means your offensive line is getting it done.
On 2nd and 11, Garcia has to throw it away. He did have Terrell Owens in the area. Kenny Mixon and Jason Taylor converging, pressuring from their respective end positions as we go down to B squared.
Well, Dick, last week in the loss to St. Louis, Jeff Garcia had one of the worst games of his career. He said on Monday, I looked at the film, I took notes, I saw that I was jittery in the pocket, I was making bad decisions, and I was really trying to make that big play when we fell behind. He said, what I learned is that I can't force myself to make better decisions in one particular game than any other game, and I'm not going to let one bad game define me.
You know, Bonnie, where he was is exactly where Jay Fiedler doesn't want to be. He was down 14-0 and then started to press.
Screen to Hurst. Gets around one Dolphin and then is knocked out of bounds shy of the first down at the 32. That'll be about 3 yards short. Brock Marion with the stop. 49er fans want Steve Mariucci to go for it. And it looks as if that'll be the call as Garcia, with a quick look to the sidelines, back into the San Francisco huddle. There's Mariucci in his 5th year here in San Francisco.
Well, he knows that when he tries a long field goal, that Cortez has a tendency, Dick, to drive the ball low. That's why they've had 4 of them blocked. That comes into a coach's consideration when you think about going for it from a long way out.
4th and 3. Garcia complete to Owens. Terrell Owens first down at the 25. Second catch for Owens. He had only 3 against St. Louis. That was his low of the year.
Well, when your 2 go-to guys are as big as Terrell Owens and J.J. Stokes, what a luxury for a quarterback. J.J. Stokes at 6'4", Owens at 6'3". That time he picks Owens, but such big physical presence when they get down the field.
Owens now one catch shy of 400 in his career in just his 6th season out of Tennessee Chattanooga. They show blitz, and it's Barlow who is smothered and a flag down at the 25-yard line. Taylor and Cousin collaborate on the stop. Face mask against Miami.
Face mask. Number 45. Defense. 5 yards only. Repeat, first down.
Safety Brian Walker.
Well, they got the 5-yard variety, which means he had it, but then let it go. Ooh, you can see it spun around right away. That actually looked like Jason Taylor.
Yeah, didn't it?
Had the hand on the face mask. They called Brian Walker. But that look right there, it looked like it was number 99, Jason Taylor, who got the face mask and did spin him all the way around with it.
First down 5. Hurst on a little delay. And then he is stopped after a pickup of 2. Jermaine Haley, number 94, from Butte College, a junior college up in Oroville, California. Makes the tackle.
And right now, Dick, this is a defensive team for Miami that they have got to somehow make a stand right here. They just, if they can force a field goal, they've got to look at that as a real victory and then hope that their offensive team can string a few first downs together and give them a break. They did what they had to right off the bat, forced a 3 and out, and then their offense turned it over, and it has been a slide since then.
2nd and 4, and Hurst again through a big hole, is close to a first down as he's knocked down at the 15-yard line by Thomas and Walker. Garrison Hurst closing in on a 1,000-yard season again.
Off the left side behind Derek Deese and 16-year guard Ray Brown, their number 65. Garrison Hurst takes it right in between the seam between the two. And for all of you fans out there of other teams who don't have a good solid running game, you're seeing now for the 49ers what a luxury it is to be able to pound it when you want to.
Time called. Hurst now is 24 yards from 1,000 on the season, a habit that he has developed throughout his career at the University of Georgia and as an Arizona Cardinal, and now with the 49ers. Time has been called. Steve Mariucci out on the field to discuss things with a referee, and he thought there should be a measurement.
Yeah, Ron Winder, the referee, did not, and now he's calling. He's taking a TV timeout in Steve's case. We'll see if he gets one during the timeout.
I hate thinking about money. So now that my paintings are starting to sell, I'm planning to put mine with Fidelity Investments.
We have something called the Fidelity Funds Manager Program.
Basically, they'll manage a portfolio of mutual funds for me, according to my goals. If I'm going to let anyone manage my portfolio of mutual funds, it's going to be Fidelity. Let the people who know what they're doing do it.
Leave all the work and the worry to us.
And that's good, because I hate thinking about money.
Fidelity Funds Manager Program. To invest, call, click, or visit Fidelity.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. From our family to yours, we wish you a very safe and happy holiday season.
The Canon Rebel 2000. When circumstances change, you'll know how to turn a snapshot into a photograph. It's that simple.
Now that's creative.
The Rebel 2000 from Canon.
This Christmas, Method Man and Red Man are going to Harvard. Ho.
I am watching you.
Ho.
What's your name?
Ho.
Wait a minute, did you just call us hoes?
I meant that in the good. How High. Rated R. At theaters Friday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Fidelity Investments. We can help you see yourself succeeding. And by Beechwood Aged Budweiser, with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers.
Well, we now hear from the official score that San Francisco was charged with a timeout, so it'll be 3rd down and inches just outside the Miami 15-yard line. 7-0 49ers here in the opening quarter.
And he never did get his measurement.
Beasley takes the handoff. Hit right at the 15, but I believe they marked it inside, and that would be enough for the 1st down. Brock Marion coming up to support against the run, the safety man. A very interesting guy. Made the Pro Bowl finally in his 7th season in the league last year. At Dallas, he said, you know, with Aaron Woodson on the same team, it was tough to get the trip to Honolulu, and he's playing up to making a return trip. Homeschooling all 5 of his children, aged 8 and younger, and a 6th one on his way. Owens in motion. Garcia looking, scrambling, hit from behind, and gains a couple down to the 12. It was Derek Rogers making the stop.
Well, Jeff Garcia feels the heat. He's back. He's looking downfield. He pumps, and then, you know, this is what he does so well. But of course, this is a defensive team that he doesn't see every week. I'm not sure there's a faster defensive team in the National Football League than the Miami Dolphins. Guys like Taylor and Rodgers, they close and close fast.
Final minute of this opening quarter. It's Barlow, and he's tackled in the backfield as Tim Bowen's got his 320 pounds around his legs and stopped him cold. And here's a game of great interest to the fans down in Miami, who are undoubtedly pulling for Buffalo. Bills led most of the game, but in overtime, in all field goals, apparently Patriots survive. They're now 9-5 as we update the AFC Eastern standings. Miami 9-3, and they meet next Saturday here on CBS.
Hotel, man.
3rd and 7 for Garcia. Down the middle. Touchdown to Eric Johnson. The rookie from Yale has his 3rd of the year. What a beautiful throw from Garcia.
You would call that a lightning bolt, wouldn't you? They flooded the field to the left side of the 3 receivers. Only Johnson came back to the middle, running the skinny little post there. He goes right into the middle. Zach Thomas has the underneath coverage and then just can't reach the football. Zach Thomas thought he was in position and missed that ball by probably 3 or 4 inches.
Cortez adds the extra point as only 2 seconds remain in the 1st quarter, and the 49ers by 14.
Olympus Comedia cameras. The most realistic digital images yet. Nothing's impossible. Olympus.
Man, there's a lot of raw talent out there this year.
And here's your proof. He makes his move. Oh, man! Ow. What a hit!
Say hello to Mr. Wall, huh?
Oh, wait a minute. He's not moving.
He's not moving.
No pads, no helmets, no mercy.
Why did they have to hit so hard?
Robotica, not your average robot show. Wednesdays at 8, only on TLC.
All power toothbrushes are not created equal. Sonicare's patented sonic technology and dynamic cleaning action get your teeth whiter and healthier in 28 days, guaranteed. Ask your dentist about Sonicare.
Hey, you can be going. What will it take for you to talk to your doctor about Zocor?
Let's go. Good job.
Ask your doctor if Zocor can work for you. Zocor, be there.
Monday, catch the holiday spirit on an all-new Late Show when Dave welcomes movie star Meg Ryan. Brandon, the latest survivor voted out of Africa. And music from Diana Krall, Monday on Dave.
Eric Johnson, a 13-yard catch, make it 12 yards officially for his third touchdown. The 7th round pick out of Yale, 224th. He was a wide receiver there, never had his hand on the ground. Now a tight end. He gained 30 pounds. Terrific hands, as you saw in that last catch. They're already comparing him to Brent Jones. Line drive by Cortez down to Chambers at the 10. 30, and he twists out to the 34 as a flag goes down, and that is the end of the opening quarter. Tackled by Terry Jackson. That last San Francisco drive, 64 yards in 13 plays, holding against Miami. So this is a quarter they just soon forget, the Miami Dolphins.
This is exactly the scenario that happened to the 49ers last week in St. Louis.
Holding. Number 27 of the return team. A 10-yard penalty. First down.
Arturo Freeman. Pained expression on the face of Dave Wanstead as his Dolphins trail 14-0 after the opening quarter. We'll return to 3Com Park after this message and a word from your local station.
Mr. Fletcher, Mr. Smith, heads, it's Wendy's Chicken Bacon Swiss. Tails, it's Wendy's Bacon Swiss Cheeseburger. Call in the air. Tails. Heads! Heads! No, heads! Heads! No, I mean tails!
Can't decide between Wendy's delicious new Chicken Bacon Swiss and Wendy's delicious new Bacon Swiss Cheeseburger? Each topped with hickory smoked bacon and tangy Swiss. Try them both. It's win-win.
Hey, Fry Man, over here!
Here you go. For girls and boys, it's a fact. In every Wendy's kids meal, Grinch toys are back.
Look at this workmanship. Could make a lot of lira selling these in New York. Yeah, look at these prices. These guys don't know what they got. They're clueless. Try asking the old guy if he can handle a production of 10,000 of these.
No problem, Signora.
What's it say? They have 2 million units warehoused in New Jersey. New Jersey?
New Jersey. New Jersey.
The right infrastructure can take your business anywhere, even New Jersey.
Bye-bye.
Getting the folks at Ask Jeeves to test the Norelco Quadra Action Razor should be easy. Hey, they're smart, right?
Will I get a close shave? Signs point to no.
This thing's gonna chew up my face.
But thanks to slots for longer hair and holes for short stubble, they got a close shave without the nicks and cuts of a blade.
It's only been a few days, but I'm liking it.
They especially loved how easy it was to clean.
It needed a quick bath.
The Quadra Action has satisfied 99% of the guys who tried it. Except no imitations. Get America's #1 selling electric shaver, Norelco.
CBS Thursday. The Lions are getting hungry.
Oh.
Good old Tom is getting frisky. And what's in these ostrich eggs? That's going to save one of the survivors. My God, who will be voted out next?
The Interesting Tribal Council.
All new Survivors, CBS Thursday.
San Francisco 49ers dominating that first 15 minutes. Look at the plays, 23-6. Their defense holding Miami to 10 total yards. Dolphins start at the 21. Fiedler trying to make something happen, and he does. Hits James McKnight, a gain of about 14 out to the 35-yard line.
Let's go back and look at the 49er touchdown, and here's the cluster of receivers over here. Johnson's going to come out and come down into the end zone, but watch out. Zach Thomas is going to pick him up. There's Johnson making his break right there to the inside, and Zach Thomas thinks he's got the coverage, but Garcia threads it just over the hand of Zach Thomas. Yes, this is the kind of start that he was looking for after that 13 for 36 performance last week.
First down, Miami. Fiedler dumps it off to Smith, and he's tackled in the backfield. Bryant Young, the veteran from Notre Dame, two-time Pro Bowler, read it all the way.
Not many defensive linemen have the range and the burst that Bryant Young has, and how wonderful it is to see him back playing at a Pro Bowl level after that devastating injury back in '98 where he broke both bones in his lower leg on Monday Night Football. Good to have him back at this, playing at this pace.
4 wide receivers, and Lamar Smith spread out wide left. Over the middle to Chambers, and the rookie from Wisconsin has a first down out to the 50-yard line. Zach Bronson, the safety man. brought him down, and Chambers reminding Miami fans more and more of Michael Irvin, Dan.
Well, he certainly reminds Dave Wanstead of Michael Irvin. Says he's just got an awesome work ethic, and he takes a hit from Bronson right on the football. Yep. Yes. I wish mine were doing as well as Chris Chambers. Take a look at that. What he did in the first 7 games. That's where I was. And then these last 5. And the last baby here, look at that. 7 touchdowns.
First down at midfield, Miami. Now Lamar Smith struggles forward to the 46 of the Niners. And a gain of 4. Bryant Young again around his ankles. Young, who has won a very prestigious award that goes to a San Francisco player every year. They call it the Lynn Eshmont Award. He's the only one who's won it 4 times, and it goes to the player that exhibits a combination of courage and leadership. And that's been the story of Bryant Young's football life, going all the way back to high school in the Chicago area. On 2nd and 6, Fiedler hit from behind, and down he goes. The first sack of the game, and that was almost a jailbreak.
That's where 5 guys get a 1/5 of a sack. I'm not sure. The scorekeeper is going to have a tough time giving this to one person in particular. Well, it looks like might be the first hand coming from the outside was Winborn. I think we might. Jamie Winborn, number 55, got the first hand. Killen's in there as well. They'll have a heck of a time trying to sort that out.
3rd down from the 45 now, and 15. Fiedler shotgun, triple left, handoff, and it's to Travis Minor, and the rookie from Florida State across the 50 and into San Francisco territory, but far from the first down. Winborn, there he is, the rookie from Vanderbilt, a 2nd-round pick, makes the stop. He's starting for the injured Jeff Ulbrich today. Vinny Sutherland drifts back to the 10 as Matt Turk on to punt, the 3-time Pro Bowl punter from Miami, and that one almost blocked straight in the air and way to the left, and that's going to give San Francisco pretty good field position. And a 49er injured trying to block that kick. Terry Jackson was the man in close, and it was Terry Killens who gets up slowly. He's their top special teams performer. Timeout, 11-12 remaining in the 2nd quarter.
Catcher's mitt for son, $47. Catcher's mitt that comes with Space Camp for son, priceless. This holiday season, use your MasterCard and you could win 5 priceless gifts to give to your family and friends, including a trip to Space Camp. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals?
Go! Go!
No. Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. Man, that is awesome. Get Selsun Power.
Now through Sunday at Zales, take up to an extra $300 off with bonus dollar savings on all diamonds. Like this $19.99 8-carat diamond bracelet, now just $16.99. At Zales, the diamond store.
Play music, watch TV, edit video, burn it to almost anything yourself. Sony Vaio MX with Intel Pentium 4 processor.
This boy's father murdered his mother. Tuesday, the system is setting him free.
Not guilty.
Now, attorney Nick Fallon will face his most personal custody battle.
I want my son back.
You're going to place my grandson with the man who killed his mother.
I am here to represent that child.
Can I get back with my dad?
All new Guardian, CBS Tuesday.
49ers have now scored in 416 consecutive games. That's an all-time NFL record. And now they head into the quarter where they've had
much of their very best success this season, almost 2-1, outscoring their opponents. They start at the 32 after a 16-yard punt by Matt Turk, almost blocked. Hurst to the 35-yard line, a gain of 3, and Kenny Mixon there for Miami. And for the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and live scoreboards, go to cbs.sportsline.com or America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. Well, the New England Patriots putting some pressure on the Dolphins, winning today to match the Miami win total of 9. And Saturday they meet in Foxborough. Tight end Johnson in motion on 2nd and 7. Garcia throws underneath complete. Fred Beasley, the fullback, out for a first down to the 45-yard line. Beasley, who as a youngster was a national decathlon champion and seldom gets a chance to handle it, but that will be his 15th catch of the season.
And you could just see Jeff Garcia going through his progression, checking on down, and he found Beasley. Took a scan to the right side of the field, worked right through his progressions, and got right to him.
He'd win on that old TV show, What's My Line? He never gets him as the starting NFL quarterback when you meet him in person. Sends Hurst in motion and then throws. Block. Right back in his face as Jermaine Haley swatted it away, number 94. Yes, Garcia. He came in to chat with us yesterday and kind of shouldered. He's about 188 pounds.
And not much of that is below the waist. He's got really thin legs. I wouldn't. Haley didn't get too far off the ground. I'd say Jermaine Haley showed us about a 2.5-inch vertical leap there to block that. But Jeff Garcia, not a heavily muscled guy.
That's an understatement, but boy, he's so active. There's action before the snap as J.J. Stokes flanked out on the left side move forward.
Prior to the snap, false start, 83 offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Dan, it really is interesting how history does surround us, and the circle is made. In '94, in the East-West game, Garcia for San Jose State represented the West, and his opponent from the East was Jay Fiedler from Dartmouth, and Fiedler had won the Most Valuable Player award. The East was way ahead, and then this guy comes in, throws 3 touchdown passes in the 4th quarter and pulls it out for the West, so they shared co-MVP honors. Garcia, another strike, and this time to Stokes into Miami territory, just shy of the first down at the 46.
And Jeff Garcia, being self-effacing, says, you know, I remember Jay Fiedler, but I'll bet you he doesn't remember me. Wow, that's really selling yourself short. Pinpoint right to J.J. Stokes, and he makes amends for that false start. Jeff Garcia saying the 5 years that I spent in Calgary, I just wouldn't be anywhere near the quarterback I am today. If I would have never gotten that experience sitting on the bench in the NFL.
3rd down and 1. Dolphins crowd the line of scrimmage, and Garcia rolls, throws, wide open is the big man Terrell Owens, and it's a first down at the Dolphin 36, his 400th career catch, and he's done it in a short amount of time.
Well, Terrell Owens working out of the slot, and again he gets a good shove on Sam Madison, and that's what a big physical guy can do. It's so easy to lower that shoulder. You don't use your hand where you get called for pushing off and separating like that. He does it with his body, that big body.
A lot of catches in just 6 years for Owens. Leading 14-0. Give us to Garrison Hurst. A pickup of just a yard. Just to go a little push and shove out on the flank between J.J. Stokes and Terry Cousin. Pat Surtain there too. Cooler heads prevailing, and it'll be Second down for San Francisco.
Not many heavyweight bouts have ever taken place between a wide receiver and a corner.
It's like two punters getting in a fight.
Well, you know, they grab each other's face mask, and never understood that concept. You ought to just throw flags. I don't know how you get away with grabbing face masks, even if the play is not going on.
This is Terry Jackson, and Jackson, spelling Beasley, gets a carry.
He's gained 103 yards on the season. Dad Willie, a player himself at the University of Florida, where Jackson himself attended.
Things get wild in the middle. There's our umpire, and you know, he's just trying to watch what's going on. But Brian Billett just wrong place, wrong time, didn't have his head on his swivel. Whack.
Those men that officiate sports, it's never an easy job, but that may be the most difficult position in all of sport, having the umpire right there in the thicket.
And they get knocked down almost every game.
Garcia throws into the flat to Ty Streets,
the third-year receiver from Michigan, and Zach Thomas right there to make a quick tackle short of a first down. Bonnie, what do you have for us?
Mentioned that Jeff Garcia is a bit slight in stature. It's actually his durability that has most impressed Steve Mariucci. He says the guy lifts like a madman, but the bottom line is he's 188 pounds, and you worry that every time he gets hit, he's going to get broken in half. He said, but he's so physically fit, and he's good on the run, and is creative, and Mariucci really couldn't say anything better about him.
Well, they say garlic's good for your health, and he's from the garlic capital. Maybe that has something to do with his physical secret. Hand off to Hurst, and Hurst gets nothing at all. Brian Walker coming up from a safety spot to help out the defensive lineman.
Terry Cousin and Derek Deese that time were not acting like kissing cousins. They were pushing and shoving, and tempers are starting to flare a little bit. The Dolphins frustrated at being down 14-0 and on the verge of giving up some more points. A lot of pride here when you get two 9-3 teams together. They didn't get to the point where they are by not taking this seriously.
Big defensive play here for Miami. 3rd down and 8, trying to deny San Francisco at least a touchdown, force a field goal. Garcia patient, Hurst the catch, and then he catches Zach Thomas, who has 125 tackles coming in. This will be 6 straight years he's been over the 100 mark in that statistic.
Well, you know, we all see how Zach Thomas plays the run, but lost in a lot of that is how well he plays the pass. And he closes on the crossing routes. Anybody working the middle of the field. Yeah, we saw him on the underneath coverage and got beat for a touchdown by Eric Johnson. But Zach Thomas, a very, very good pass defender.
41-yard attempt by Jose Cortez on its way, and it is no good. It's skidded right. So Miami, that for them, and a tough start today is some good news. It stays 14-0.
That Snowbot is a great way to tell customers Staples has technology gifts.
Greetings. Handhelds make terrific gifts. So do digital cameras.
Nice price. Excuse me, could you tell me about the scanner fax copier?
No.
But I want to get it for my brother.
Get him a cell phone.
No, he really wants one of these.
He can't have her. I love her.
What?
No, no, no. Weeping, weeping.
It's okay. We found you someone else.
Oh.
Get more for less at Staples.
The office just got these, and I thought you could use one. It's not just a cell phone. It's Nextel with Direct Connect, a digital two-way radio. Look, you just push one button, and we're connected. Which means you never have to leave messages. You know, like the one I left you about the elevator being out.
With ordinary cell phones, you leave messages, but with Nextel Direct Connect, you get right through.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Staples. Staples has everything you need for your business at great low prices. Heineken, it's all about the beer. Heineken. And by Nextel, how business gets done.
And welcome back to 3Com Park, a special little seat there. They got their own TV set. I guess they've won a contest with the 49ers to be right there on the field.
Miami trailing 14-0. Less than 5 minutes left in the half. This is Lamar Smith. Gets a block. And is ridden out of bounds at the 36-yard line after a gain of 5. Zach Bronson led the charge.
Lamar Smith, who gained 1,139 yards a year ago. That was the second all-time for Miami. Delvin Williams holds the record, and Williams a common thread between these two teams, a former 49er as well.
Lamar had 100 last week, Dick, and he'd gone the 7 prior games without 100 yards. And we're hoping that he broke out last week.
He gets the ball again and is stuffed at the 39, where it'll be 3rd down and 2 as Derek Smith, Lance Shoulders combined for the tackle. I'd like to remind you again, next Saturday the NFL on CBS features these Dolphins and the New England Patriots. What a battle for the top spot in the AFC East. It all starts with Jim, Randy, Jerry, Mike, Marcus, Leslie, and Dion on the NFL Today. For more, go to cbs.sportsline.com. America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. Let's see, at 1:30 start in the East for the kickoff, so that means 12:30 for NFL Today. Clock ticking down here in the second quarter. 3rd and 2. Fiedler fires complete. And it's a Rondé Gadsden with his first catch and a first down near midfield.
Well, that was for a guy who overthrew his first couple. Look at that pass. Right into the middle, right in the 8 and the 6 for Rondé Gadsden. And Jay Fiedler needs a couple of these throws to regain his confidence, because the way he started this game, that would rattle anybody. So a good drive here with some good throws would really set Fiedler up for a productive second half.
Fiedler to Gadsden again, who makes a fine catch.
Jason Webster there to make the tackle defensively.
Now this is a snag of a high and outside pass. This one's not going to be intercepted and rarely caught. That was some job by Rondé Gadsden catching the last half of that football that almost rocketed right between his hands.
He sure plays taller than 6'2".
Well, he learned to catch like that, Dick, at the Portland Forest Dragons.
Those Forest Dragons, that's right.
Oh, he carried that franchise.
He'd pick him out of the second deck there indoors. The old Arena League. On 2nd down and 5. Gadsden again. And he draws a crowd, no gain. Webster and Winborn and Andre Carter all in on the stop.
You know what? His left tackle, Spencer Falau, got over there to help out a little bit. I'd like to see that from an offensive lineman. Pick one of those guys off.
For everything she means to you, and everything she ever will, the 3-stone ring, for your past, present, and future. A diamond is forever.
Now anyone can be a digital DJ. With the Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world.
Hi, I'm Susan McGinnis, news anchor for CBS Market Watch. CBS Market Watch is not only the place I work, it's also the resource I use and trust when I'm managing my own finances. It's where you should go first for the best information on mutual funds, retirement, real estate, taxes. The ING personal finance section gives you the best advice from some of the industry's most seasoned financial columnists. More than 100 journalists worldwide reporting for you. CBS Market Watch is the #1 source for financial news. It's more than just news. It's news you can use.
Access NFL.com now on America Online. Get live game day coverage and real-time stats at AOL keyword NFL.com.
Christmas weekend kicks off with the Dolphins and Patriots in a crucial AFC East battle next Saturday on CBS.
Man who masterminded so many successful San Francisco seasons, Bill Walsh, now a consultant with the 49ers. And Miami now getting a little hotter hand from Fiedler. He's completed 6 in a row. If they score a touchdown here, it's a whole new story.
Yes, and they got fortunate with the missed field goal. If they can capitalize here, just take anything with them into the locker room at halftime, a huge plus.
On 3rd down and 5, and Fiedler is sacked from the blind side as number 38, Ronnie Hurd, an extra defensive back with the tackle and a fumble, and the 49ers have the ball. They picked their spots, San Francisco, with a blitz, and it has worked impeccably.
Well, Hurd was standing right on the line of scrimmage, right beside his offensive tackle, and Jay Fiedler didn't notice him prior to the snap and didn't react at all. Jay Fiedler so intent on looking to the right side, unaware that he has an unaccounted rusher coming from his blind side. Ronnie Hurd, and so much for anything positive happening offensively to Miami in this half.
This Christmas, Method Man and Red Man are going to Harvard. Ho.
I am watching you.
Ho.
What's your name?
Ho.
Wait a minute, did you just call us hoes?
I meant that in the good. How High. Rated R. At theaters Friday.
Look at these. Do you remember which one he wants?
I can't remember what we had for breakfast.
Want a gift you can't get wrong?
I remember.
What?
Eggs.
The Best Buy gift card. This holiday, turn on the fun.
I had eggs for breakfast.
You're not helping.
Oh, breathe right strips.
Vicks Vapors.
Hey, there's Vicks mentholated vapors in my Breathe Right strip.
There's Breathe Right strips in my Vicks mentholated vapors.
Breathe Right nasal strips for colds with Vicks mentholated vapors right in the strip. Breathe Right. Right now.
CBS is bringing together TV's greatest stars for a very merry Monday.
Oh, it's merry, all right.
First, see why critics call The King of Queens the #1 show of the year. Then it's a Mary Tyler Moore Show reunion starring Mary, Ed Asner, and Cloris Leachman on The Ellen Show.
You're going to make it. After all.
Next, the holidays heat up at Ray's house.
When we go to Macy's, you can punch Santa and kick an elf.
And Tim Conway and Vicki Lawrence star on Yes Dear. It all happens CBS Very Merry Monday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by A Beautiful Mind, starring Academy Award winner Russell Crowe and directed by Ron Howard. And by Best Buy. For the latest technology, turn on the fun at Best Buy.
Dolphin linemen talking about protecting their quarterback. They've done a great job all season. Only 13 sacks, but 2 in this first half given up, and now a fumble as Julian Peterson falls on the fumble created by Ronnie Hurd's tackle from the blind side. So leading 14-0. Final 2 minutes, and Garrison Hurst gets away from Zach Thomas and then runs out of bounds to stop the clock. That was some hit, Dan.
Well, it really was. See, Jay Fiedler, you see the 2 rushers here? Well, Jay Fiedler is waiting for his 2 linemen to that side, Falau and Irwin, to account for those 2. They don't. They both pick up the defensive end, and they turn him loose, and Jay Fiedler, thinking they're both blocked, completely unaware of the rusher coming in from behind, and Ronnie Hurd just levels him.
Well, that was a free, full-fledged, full-speed hit.
Well, and especially you hate to see your quarterback hit like that. It's only a 4-man pass rush, with one of them being a DB.
2nd and 7. Garcia flushed out, then throws incomplete
J.J. Stokes, the intended receiver, and Pat Surtain broke it up for Miami. Jermaine Haley, good pressure on the quarterback.
Well, all sorts of pressure being put on the Miami defense in the first half of this football game. Boy, that's outstanding timing right there by Patrick Surtain. Got there the exact instant that the ball arrived.
Minute 43 left in the half. Miami has all 3 of its timeouts. San Francisco 2 remaining. Kansas City spoiling Denver's hopes for January. Underneath. And J.J. Stokes close to a first down as San Francisco hurries it up. It was Thomas, another tackle.
I think he's got to be short unless he got some great spot.
Looks like a yard short on 4th down. Yes, they spotted at the 37. 118, 117. San Francisco will use up as much time as they can as Mariucci looks out at his quarterback Garcia. You see the play clock. They might let it run down to 2nd or 2 and then call time and talk it over. Apparently that's the call, as the game clock here in the first half shows 57 seconds left before the intermission.
Holidays are a great time to call 1-800-GATEWAY, because now for just $9.99 after a $100 mail-in rebate, you can get the lightweight Solo 1200 notebook, or you can get the 500S desktop. It's got an Intel Pentium 4 processor and a CD burner. Order by December 21st, and we guarantee it'll get there by Christmas. So call 1-800-GATEWAY or stop by your local Gateway store today. Hurry, offer ends soon.
In the fight for freedom and justice,
All we're trying to do here is find out the truth.
you can never have too many heroes. The smash hit Jag, CBS Tuesday.
The quintessential quartet waiting. Nextel halftime report. Jim, Mike, Randy, and Terry will have all the scores and highlights for you on a busy December NFL Sunday. Some overtime action. Some of the divisions drawing ever tighter.
Because he was the offensive coordinator here in San Francisco, and because the general manager and the president is a great friend of mine, congratulations to Marty Mornhinweg, Matt Bellin, and the Detroit Lions, who got off the snide with a win today.
Garcia being pressured. Finally hit from behind for a big loss, and Miami will take over the 47-yard line as Derek Rogers, the linebacker, showing you his foot speed, but it was Jason Taylor who broke through cleanly.
Well, this is a rollout all the way to the right-hand side, and Jason Taylor blows that up right off the bat by being upfield. And again, we've talked about the team speed of this Miami Dolphin defense, and again, we have a good illustration of it right there. Derek Rogers just running down Garcia, who had no chance at all.
So with 2 timeouts left, make it 3 for Miami, and 48 seconds, a chance for Fiedler and the Dolphins to get on the board here before the break. 4 wides. Underneath, former Jet Dedrick Ward has his first catch today to the 45-yard line of San Francisco, and a timeout. 41 seconds left in the half.
percussion massager from Home Medics. Unique percussion action like nothing you've ever felt. It's no wonder it's what professionals use when they're not being, well, professionals.
Nextel Direct Contact halftime report.
Who are those guys?
Quintessential Quartet, the Q squared.
Man, you're good. You are really good.
I got too much sleep last night.
You're just so happy to be in the Pacific time zone.
Oh, am I? Am I ever? 2nd and 1. Fiedler 7 in a row. And this one goes out of bounds away from Aronde Gadsden as Miami positioned at the San Francisco 45, trailing 14-0, 37 seconds left in the half. Following the game, log on to NFL.com, get the latest information on how the playoff picture is shaping up. It certainly has changed a bit today, as well as analysis from the experts, all at NFL.com or America Online, keyword NFL.com.
And a whole lot of people in New England who are 49er fans today.
3rd down and 1. Fiedler wrapped up by Dana Stubblefield. The big tackle from Kansas broke through.
Well, he puts a great move on left guard Heath Irwin as he spins him, and then, boy, that talk about a big guy closing the space in a hurry. What a sight that has to be for Jay Fiedler. Talk about nowhere to run, and that can be dangerous sometimes. A quarterback lands on his throwing arm like that, the way Stubblefield put him into the ground. Fiedler lucky he wasn't hurt the way he landed.
Stubblefield, who was an NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year with the 49ers back in '93, and then migrated off to Washington, now back as an unrestricted free agent this year. 3 sacks in this first half, logged by the 49er defense against a team that has protected Fiedler very well all year. 2nd best in the league. Only the Bears allowing 12 sacks, better than the Dolphins 13 coming in.
Stubblefield had one of the great years any defensive tackle ever had, Dick, back in '97 when he had 15 sacks, an unheard of number for a defensive tackle.
An inside man. Kirk punts, no one back for San Francisco, and that one will die at the 25-yard line. 20 seconds left in the half. Tuesday on CBS, this boy's father murdered his mother and was set free. Now he wants his son back, and attorney Nick Fallon will face his most personal custody battle. Don't miss an all-new Guardian Tuesday on CBS. There's Dana Stubblefield. He grew up in the Cincinnati area. He's done a little acting himself, wouldn't he, with the Reindeer Games? He had a little part there. Can't miss him. He's a load at 6'2" and 290, 3 times to the Pro Bowl.
290. I'd like to see that on the screen.
Sure doesn't look it, but that's what they say.
Yeah.
It's in print. It must be right.
Yeah. If you say so.
Final seconds of this opening half. And the 49ers very impressive on both sides of the ball. They harassed Jay Fiedler, 3 sacks, a big interception, a fumble, forced fumble off Fiedler. And meanwhile, in their first 2 possessions, they marched to touchdowns and a 14-0 lead. Bonnie?
Well, Dick, the 49ers have been bringing some pressure on Jay Fiedler. What do you do in the second half to give him a little more time, Dave?
Well, we've got to protect him better, obviously. You know, the 2 turnovers are the difference in the game. I mean, we lost the momentum early, and we haven't been able to regain it. We've seen blitz every week. We just got to do a better job of executing. That's all.
Coach, thanks.
And that's the end of the opening half here in San Francisco. The 49ers 14, the Dolphins nothing. Now stay tuned. The Nextel halftime report from New York coming up.
Inside Washington, D.C., 9 justices convene in the highest court of the land. Their deliberations are secret. Their decisions are final.
We've received our first application for a stay of execution.
And there is no appeal.
I object. Sit down. You don't get to object in the Supreme Court.
From the creative creator of the smash hit Jag, comes a riveting new drama that deals with the most important issues in America.
Let's go make history.
First Monday, series premiere CBS Tuesday, January 15th.
Happy holidays.
From all of us
at CBS.
Nothing ventured, everything gained. The 2002 Lincoln Navigator. Now with 0% APR financing for 36 months. 3 years of interest-free financing that lets you keep your money in the bank while you pursue other interests. And with 300 horsepower and 4 tons of towing capacity, you can pursue those interests with vigor. But this all-for-nothing proposition ends soon. So hurry to your Lincoln dealer today.
Who will be the final survivor? It's the fiercest, wildest Survivor ever, Survivor Africa. And you can have some fun with Coin TV 6, G.I. Joe's, and Reebok as we give away some great prizes. Just watch Survivor each week, then go to G.I. Joe's and guess which tribal member will be the next one voted out. You can win a Survive the Weekend package from Reebok, Coin TV 6, and G.I. Joe's. Watch Survivor Africa and win Thursdays on Coin TV 6. It's a jungle out there.
We know you're busy this time of year, so here's a preview of all the items Furniture Row Outlet has in for the Gift Ideas Special Purchase. Well, that's a lot of ideas. Here's a better idea. Come down to our store and check out deals like this 5-piece dining set for just $149 and a super comfortable recliner for just $295. Plus, this is your last chance before Christmas to get no payments and no interest for 1 full year. Furniture Row Outlet. Good gift stuff for a great deal less. 3540 Commercial Street, Southeast.
It's Jeff Gianola and Kelly Day on Coin 6 News.
Hi, Jim Nance in New York. Coming up, the Nextel halftime report. The Bears are in the playoffs. A couple of overtime thrillers and a huge controversy in Cleveland. The stories next.
CBS Thursday. The Lions are hungry. Oh, Tom's getting frisky. And what's in these eggs that could save a survivor? We got all new Survivor. Then, one night, 2 cases, 3 bodies.
How are you at solving puzzles?
See why piecing together the evidence is murder. All new CSI. And is the head of the CIA giving away secrets? Now the truth comes out.
The president has lost confidence in him.
All new Agency. CBS Thursday.
This is Steve Mariucci.
Hi, Sam.
He is head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. And like many of his players, Coach Mariucci supports the United Way.
What's Japanese for a 17-syllable poem? Haiku.
Steve is smart.
What elementary particle?
Electron.
Very smart.
What boy band burst on the scene in 1999?
NSYNC.
In sync.
Tearing up my heart.
Nice work, Steve.
No?
The Dolphins will go for it on 4th down. Sample's going to throw over the middle. Hits his man. 15, 10, 5, touchdown Miami. Woo!
Woo! No matter who your favorite team is, NFL Shop is the biggest selection of authentic NFL gear from all 32 teams. Call 1-877-NFL-SHOP for your free team catalog.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Welcome to the Nextel halftime report. Jim Nance with you from our NFL Today studios in New York. Mike Ditka, Randy Cross, Jerry Glanville here. A lot of business to take care of. At halftime, the 49ers have held the Dolphins to only 35 yards of offense. Washington, Conway with a couple of field goals. The Eagles have tied it with Akers with a pair of his own. McNabb actually just thrown a touchdown pass there to Mitchell. Cowboys down as Waters has the Seahawks touchdown. And Green Bay, Tennessee, Packers lead midway through the second quarter. Now, here's one of the big stories of the day. A very ugly scene at Cleveland at the end of this game. As the Browns fall to the Jags, this game was actually called final 30 minutes apart. 4th down play for Tim Couch. Completes the pass to Quincy Morgan. It's ruled a completion and a first down at the 9-yard line. But after a spike to stop the clock, the play was reviewed and ruled incomplete. But remember, it was one play later, which goes against the replay rule. Thus, Again, that was a 4th down catch that would have given them a 1st down. They say now it's Jacksonville possession. There were 48 seconds on the clock. Bottles thrown everywhere. Terry McCauley, there he is, the referee, calls the game with 48 seconds to go. Calls it. Would have been Jacksonville's possession. And then this very disturbing scene in Cleveland. Here's a look at the spike after actually a pump, which is a second issue we'll get into in a moment. But 30 minutes later, they bring the teams back on the...
We've been talking. I mean, the rules are the rules.
You
How do you
can't
massage and kind of change things on the run? I smell another rule change.
Well, what's going to happen because of this, because of what this official has done, you're going to lose instant replay. Just because of something like this. And instant replay is good for the game because it corrects a mistake. This case didn't correct the mistake because they misused it. Now, when the commissioner called him and said, take him back on the field, then to me, my understanding would be, hey, take him back out on the field. It's 2nd down. It's Cleveland's ball.
It's Cleveland's ball going the other way, right?
That's what it should have been.
All right, so the Browns, with that loss now, fall to 6-7 on the season. The Bears clinch a playoff berth. They blow out the Bucs today. Miller threw 2 touchdowns for Chicago.
This is a pretty good play right here by a tight end, and then this is Fred Baxter. Good catch between 2 people, and Anthony Thomas ran wild. The A-Train got loose today, and he made him pay. 173 yards.
New Orleans is waiting. Yes, we'll see you in the playoffs. Playoff bound. The Bears going back to the playoffs,
You
Mike.
better believe it.
And the Lions win for the first time this year.
And Todd Bauman was the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, leading the Vikings back against the Detroit Lions. That gave them a 24-20 lead against Marty Morningwig's team. Drove down the length of the field. Corey Schlesinger scores, and at 10.5 minutes to go with that lead, they held on, and Matt Millen's team gets first win of 2001.
Kansas City wins in overtime. Todd Peterson with the winning field goal. He had a try earlier in the OT to hit the crossbar. Comes back to win it, though, later on in the OT.
But I'll tell you what, if they would have got the ball to Rod Smith anymore, they wouldn't have won it. But they did win it. Rod Smith makes a great play right there. And then Trent Green, watch this throw and catch by Derek Alexander in the back of the end zone. Gets both feet down. That's not reviewed. That is a touchdown. Here comes Gus Rod. He rolls out. He's going to get into the end zone on this, but he's going to get hurt on this play.
Jarius Jackson had to come in and replace him. Remember, Brian Greasy was already out with a concussion from a week ago. So Farad out, Greasy out.
Peterson for the winner in overtime. And he gets it through for a win for Kansas City.
Actually had 3 chances in overtime. Had made one. It was taken off the board because of a holding. Second one hit the crossbar. Later possession, he wins it. New England defeats Buffalo in overtime. After a long replay, they maintained possession for the Patriots on a fumble, then called a non-fumble. This set up the winning kick by Adam Vinatieri.
I think we just keep finding ways to win games. It wasn't pretty for us out there today. We had a couple turnovers, including myself, a fumble. And if we can get past those things and overcome the adversity that we did out here on the field, I think there's no telling how far this team can go.
And you saw Antoine's long run set up the winner. Jets with 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter come back from 14-3 down. Vinny with 2 touchdown tosses. And Indy wins it. Rhodes today, 177 rushing yards and a pair of touchdowns for the Colts. We'll send you back out to San Francisco for the second half. Thanks for being with us on the Nextel Halftime Report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
The people have spoken. Ray's been nominated for 2 People's Choice Awards. CBS Monday.
If you're concerned about hair loss, call Hair Club now and get this booklet or CD-ROM free. It's packed with the latest information on hair loss breakthroughs from around the world, including hair cloning and genetic therapy. It's loaded with the latest updates on all the proven hair loss options available today, including approved drugs, shampoos, and Hair Club's new procedures. So call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now to get more information. Hair Club, over 25 years of hair loss experience available at your fingertips.
Bill Schonley here at Standard TV and Appliance Portland showroom with a huge selection of top brand big screens. And right now, for a limited time at Standard, get no payment, no interest financing till 2003 on Sony Vega flat screens, Sony big screens, Sony wide screens, and Sony high definition big screens. Low prices, Sony quality, financing till 2003. That's your big screen headquarters, Standard TV and Appliance.
This is my mom. Another perfect holiday. I was 7 and Mom was amazing. She always knew to make Chex Party Mix. The good stuff. All seasoned and toasted fresh from the oven. what's great about the holidays now? It's my turn to be mom.
Nice bandsaw.
It's an angle grinder.
Huh. Whoa, that's pretty heavy duty.
Check it out.
Whoa, what's that, 10 ounces or?
10.5.
Oh.
And it's got steak.
Can I borrow it or?
You know how to use one of those?
Yeah. Oh.
Tender marinated carne asada steak and lots of it. The steak grilled stuffed burrito from Taco Bell. It's the heavy-duty, portable way to think outside the bun.
Coin 6 News. Complete, clear coverage.
49ers leading 14-0. We talked about the 49er offense to start, but it was their defense that really starred in that first 30 minutes.
Yeah, they really did, and they have just completely smothered the Miami offense. They've got nothing done here in the first half. As we check out the first half numbers, take a look at that. 54 total yards for the Miami Dolphins in the first half. They've been tripled up by San Francisco. The 2 turnovers right here resulting in 7 points. And just a dismal performance by Miami offensively here in the first half. Yeah, you got to credit the San Francisco defense. They've caused some of it, but you've got to execute better than that.
So Cortez kicks it off, and Miami will get a chance first. It comes down to the rookie Chris Chambers at the 7. And he darts across the 35 and tackled forward to the 39-yard line. So Dolphins good field position.
Man, what's not to like about that kid, Dick? What a hard worker, takes big hits. He's going to be a force in this league for a while.
And Jose Cortez, he'll go down and not only wait, he'll go down and make one of the first hits as a kicker. A quick look at the AFC playoff picture. You see Miami there at 9-3, but trailing 14-0. Seattle, Denver, Cleveland going to have some help and put some things together. Jets stay alive with that 1-point win against Cincinnati. Lamar Smith to the 41, a gain of only 2. Derek Smith, middle linebacker from Arizona State, leads the charge for San Francisco. Down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, Steve Mariucci just told me he had 2 goals going into today's game. Run the ball on offense, stop the run on defense. He feels his team's done both, particularly on D, holding the Dolphins to 29 yards rushing. He said our ideal game would be making the Dolphins one-dimensional. If we can continue to stop the run in the second half and make Jay Fiedler throw, we've done our job.
Has to be pleased with the way his team performed in that first 30 minutes. 2nd and 8. They pick up the blitz. Fiedler, the long pass is incomplete, intended for Chris Chambers, and he shows you that speed, and he has tremendous leaping ability at the combine. His vertical was 44 inches. Now and then you'll hear a 40, but 44-inch vertical leap.
And again, a throw from Jay Fiedler that is just, this time, just a smidge too long. Look how close that is, even though that the great extension by Chambers, that ball is just a couple feet shorter. You kind of got the impression he'd make the catch, but credit Webster with some pretty solid coverage. He took away everything underneath.
4 wides, shotgun, 3rd and 8. Fiedler underneath, complete, and it's at the 50-yard line and a first down as Dedrick Ward comes up with a clutch 3rd down grab.
Ooh, did Andre Carter come around the corner? Almost got Jay Fiedler before he threw that pass. Boy, this is a tremendous upfield rush. Watch the right side of your screen. See Carter get around the corner on Falau. Only a straight 4-man rush, no games, no nothing, and Fiedler barely got that thing away.
Yeah, he's starting to live up to that high pick. The 49ers 7th player selected in the last draft. McKnight in motion. Fiedler throws on first down, incomplete to Gadsden. Webster there. Quite a collision, and both men a little slow getting up.
Well, Webster giving away a lot of things to Oronde Gadsden. Giving away about 3 inches, 4 inches, giving away about 25 pounds. But he got right in there, and you got to credit Webster. That's a completion. If Webster doesn't undercut Oronde Gadsden.
Well, the 49ers, Dan, with Webster and Plummer, rookie starters at corner last year, and now they've really matured in a season. They're comparing them now with Don Griffin and Tim McKyer, those successful 80s secondary. They started as rookies as well. Fiedler complete to Chambers, and he's twisted down short of the first down by a yard.
By another one of those rookies who started last year. Yeah, you know, at times last year, Dick, they had 5 rookies on the field at the same time starting for this defensive football team. They had 7 rookies who played consistently throughout the year on the defensive side of the football. And it's just, you know, it is just amazing the productivity that they're getting from a bunch of kids.
They're still the youngest defense in the league. Average 3.5 years experience. Ray Lucas comes in at quarterback for Fiedler on 3rd down and 1. Runs the option, and Smith is stuffed for a loss as Derek Smith was waiting for him, and Cheeky O'Keefer as well.
I think it's safe to say that San Francisco, Jim Moore, the defensive coordinator, had his guys ready for this. Look, they're upfield. They got upfield. You know, anytime you do that against the option and you're making all the decisions being made in the backfield, you have the upper hand.
So Miami takes the opening kickoff for the second half, gets into San Francisco territory, but unable to move any points on the board. And there's a excellent coverage downfield by Terry Cousin as he fields the ball at the 2-yard line. That's where San Francisco has its first possession.
Food is violent and dangerous for young adults and cubs alike. The feast is a frenetic free-for-all, and the dominant male is...
The meat is mine. Here. Case closed.
It's good to have you home, sweetie.
Just go to Southwest.com by December 27th for Southwest Airlines $39 to $99 internet specials.
You are now free to move about the country.
Hey, pal, when did you see the light?
I was working away from home. On my own dime, it's crazy to stay anywhere but Motel 6. I can take the extra money and invest it in something.
Yeah, like pizza.
Well, call us and see the light for yourself.
On Christmas Day,
The champ is here!
one man
I ain't afraid to be what I want to be.
will shake up the world.
What's my name?
Rated R opens everywhere Christmas Day.
Christmas weekend kicks off with a crucial clash in the AFC as the Dolphins drive into New England to battle the Patriots. Next Saturday on CBS.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
49ers first possession, second half, and the pride and joy of Gilroy, California. Jeff Garcia under center, Jeremy Newberry. And off to Hurst, and he's out to the 6, almost the 7, before Jason Taylor can ride him down. Now, he showed you the AFC playoffs standings, and here's the NFC look with the Rams with the best record. But oh, how about the Bears? What a year for Chicago.
And of course, San Francisco vitally interested in what the Bears are doing, because, you know, St. Louis will probably win the NFC West, which means that San Francisco is vying for a wild card spot with Chicago, and Chicago holds the tiebreaker because they won the head-to-head game.
Jason Taylor greets Hurst at the 5-yard line, dumps him for a loss. Yeah, the 3 losses for San Francisco could not be more penalizing. 2 to St. Louis, and the other one when they had the game won in Chicago, and the Bears with one of their miracle finishes in the final seconds coming back to beat them.
So if it comes down to hosting the playoff game, which one of the wild card teams gets to do, the 49ers would have to finish a game ahead of Chicago to get the opportunity to host that game. The last wild card team goes to the 3rd division winner. So you know, Chicago and the 49ers are really locked into a struggle here late in the season.
3rd down and 7. The handoff is to Hurst. What a move he puts on the linebacker, and it's good enough to get a first down. Marion and Cousin in the secondary make the tackle, and Dave Wanstead thought he had him pinned in. A missed tackle, and San Francisco moves on.
Remember in the first half when I talked about the luxury of a running game? Look at Garrison Hurst get away from Zach Thomas, but grinding it out from your own goal line and picking up a first down. No secret who's going to get the ball, and Zach Thomas just has his feet slide out from under him. He got that 1 foot off to the side. The turf gave way, and he slips to the ground unblocked, and yet his feet betrayed him on this turf, formerly known as Candlestick. 3-count park.
Rejected is Garrison Hurst, as he's just a yard or so away from the 1,000-yard total for the season. It'd be his 4th time in his career. Hurst is, as you can see, second half is when he's done his best running, second halves of games. That's his total on the season. 336 of his yards in the opening half, but over 600 in the second half. 1 yard from 1,000 is Hurst. He got 2 on that one. Blitz. Garcia gets it off to Owens. Leaps over Surtain and makes the catch at the 44.
Now, if you're throwing to a 5'9" receiver, you can't tell me that Jeff Garcia launches that with the same degree of confidence he does when he's throwing to a guy with a 44-inch vertical leap. And he uses it right there to go up. Patrick Surtain at 5'11", and the quarterbacks today under pressure. Not a big hit, but again, he couldn't follow through. He had to float that thing into the air off of his back leg.
That was rookie Merlin Greenwood with the pressure, but what a block by Garrison Hurst, who picked up Brock Marion, knocked him down. Here is Hurst to the 45-46 and a couple of yards into the arms of Ernest Grant and Brock Marion.
This is such a discouraging drive for the Miami Dolphins defensively. They have them backed up to the goal line after an outstanding special teams play, and Hurst, as he goes over 1,000 yards, gives them the ground power. We have the completion to Owens, and right now the field position has been lost. It now belongs to the 49ers again, and every guy in that Miami huddle right now has got to be a little discouraged.
90 yards rushing for San Francisco, the number 2 rushing team in the league behind Pittsburgh. And here's some more for Hurst as he skips down to the 45-yard line, and another San Francisco first down. Zach Thomas and Brock Marion, the tacklers.
Well, let's give a lot of game balls here. Let's take a look at it from up top. Watch the fake here by Jeff Garcia. See right there again, we have the motion of the reverse. We saw that in the first half. Both times we've seen that fake, Garrison Hurst has ended up with the football. But right now, the MVPs of this game, the offensive line of the San Francisco 49ers. They are controlling the line of scrimmage.
First down with the tight end in motion, and the give is to Kevin Barlow, and Barlow giving Hurst a breather. Tackled by Thomas and others. Well, this line of San Francisco, in talking with Zach Thomas yesterday, he said, you know, they're not the kind of line that just mashes you and drives you. They kind of mush you.
Well, he said their specialty is screening you, walling you off. They're not really a group that's going to play smash mouth and hit you in the face with it. They're more screen you off, and then he said you got to be patient because Hurst is just going to cut back.
Fred Beasley slips as he tries to make the cut, and Bowen's there to make sure he doesn't go farther. Reminder tonight on 60 Minutes, if the phone company can call you whenever they want, try calling them and see how far you get tonight on 60 Minutes. Garrison Hurst given a breather while Barlow at running back. He said, I'm a bulldog till I die. He had a Georgia keychain with him yesterday, and he plays like one, doesn't he?
He wasn't shy about it. Big Uga fan.
With his injuries, knee and ankle, and many players wouldn't be around, he still is, and 1,000 yards for him. Screen, and it's set up for Terry Jackson to the 30. And finally ridden out of bounds. Another San Francisco first down. This all began way back at the 49er 2-yard line.
Well, the screen pass has long been a staple of this 49er offense, going all the way back to Bill Walsh. We haven't seen it today, and it takes Miami by surprise. Outstanding block. You see Ray Brown getting downfield. Jeremy Newberry came back inside. Here's Jason Taylor. So he's trying to get upfield, but that's what you do as an offensive tackle. Derek Deese got Taylor's hands down. He got down around his legs, got Taylor's hands down. That way Garcia can deliver the ball.
With a 14-0 lead, a time-consuming drive over 6.5 minutes. As Barlow gets short yardage, Thomas the tackler started at the 2. They've gone now over 70 yards and nearly 7 minutes of this third quarter with it. Tonight on the CBS Sunday Movie, Emmy winner Patricia Heaton of Everybody Loves Raymond, Emmy winner Peter Falk. They star in a magical holiday story for your entire family. Don't miss A Town Without Christmas tonight on CBS.
I'm starting to get into Christmas spirit.
I think because of the events of the world, we're all a little slow getting there, but I agree.
I'm warming up.
So is Hurst. Not that he ever cooled down. He's to the 14-yard line. Another first down, adding on to his total. A lot of tackles made by the Miami secondary. Brian Walker finally bumped him out.
Well, Dave Wannstedt so discouraged that you need something positive to happen in the second half when you're down by a couple of touchdowns, and this isn't it. Giving this drive up to the 49ers. However it ends up, there's no way do you construe this as anything positive for Miami. And I'll guarantee you in the meeting this week, Steve Mariucci will congratulate his team on this drive. Regardless of how this game ends up, this is a big-time drive.
Look at Barlow put on the brakes and change direction. Gets inside the 10-yard line. We talked about the 3 losses for San Francisco, 2 to St. Louis, 1 to Chicago. The Miami losses, 2 to the Jets, and they too lost at St. Louis 42-10. So the Rams, if you're wondering who might be the best team in the NFL, when they play the better teams, they certainly seem to show their muscle. They'll be tested in New Orleans tomorrow night.
Well, I don't think in my mind there's any question. The Rams are the best team in the National Football League, and they're the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. If they stay healthy, somebody's going to have to pull an upset to beat them.
Barlow scored the first touchdown of the game. Digs all the way down to the 1 before he's grounded. It'll be first and goal, San Francisco.
Look at the hole created by this offensive line. Left guard Ray Brown comes in, but look at that. Everybody in a white shirt is being moved backwards by the San Francisco offense. Well, these guys have just taken over this football game, and what a great feeling that is. Matt Willig is playing in there at left guard right now. What a wonderful feeling this is for an offensive line.
4 shots from the 1-yard line to extend their lead. Barlow diving right at the goal line. No signal yet by either of the linesmen, and they're going to mark it just shy. Second and goal.
Yeah, use up more time.
Down to the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter.
Did this officially start at the 2?
It did indeed.
Wow. Man, I tell you, it's not very often you get a chance to be a part of something like this.
Almost. You see the clock ticking. 9:48 they've consumed on this drive.
97.5 yards. 98 2/3 of a yard, I think.
Second and goal. Barlow and Beasley behind Garcia. Beasley, and he doesn't get in. Good surge that time by the line. Scott Gallion, and there's an extra linebacker.
Now this time the white shirts get underneath the red ones. Take a look at that. No, you can. That's the way you play it defensively. The Dolphins didn't do it in the previous 97 yards, but they did it right there. They got underneath the red shirts and stood them up.
Lorenzo Bromell, but it was Gallion from Tennessee. Back up linebacker who got his shoulder in the hole.
I think he picked up a couple inches, though, Dick. And I think we're inside a foot now. We might be down to about 8 inches.
We're also inside a minute remaining here in the third.
I won a Nintendo GameCube with Luigi's Mansion, Wave Race Blue Storm, and Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Pikmin.
This holiday season, let Dr. Pepper play Santa by giving away thousands of incredible new Nintendo GameCubes. Look on specially marked packages for your chance to win instantly.
I know what this is.
Quit messing around. Let's go. The Nintendo GameCube giveaway, only from Dr. Pepper.
Hey, this is cool.
How many 4x4s can you really take off-road?
I suppose we better go give these guys a hand, huh?
With its patented four-wheel drive system, Jeep Liberty makes every day Independence Day.
No laughing this time, guys.
I can't do anything without the instructions. Nothing.
It's okay. She's got other presents.
They were just here. They were right here. I just had them.
We'll just hide this till her birthday.
She's been wanting this for a long time. If I only had those instructions.
You looked in the box?
I looked in there.
Did you take everything out of it?
Oh, here they are.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you. Nothing's better. Dr. Pepper.
3rd and goal at the 1-foot line as Garcia sets him up with Beasley and Barlow behind him. And Barlow is in for the touchdown, his second of the game. 98-yard drive over 11 minutes. Eaten up by the 49er offense, and they lead 20-0.
Now watch the NFL all year, and you won't see many drives better than this. Protecting a lead, grinding away. The only thing that could have possibly been more satisfying for the 49ers is if they could have done this on the road. Doing a drive like this in front of a hostile crowd is all the sweeter. But talk about asserting your will on the other team. The 49ers just did it.
Extra point by Cortez, San Francisco's longest of the season. 98 yards to lead 21-0.
On June 6, 1944, American and Allied forces were called into action. Jeep was there when they answered that call and joined together in a noble mission. Now, more than ever, we count on these values of courage, trust, and steadfast resolve in our continuing quest for freedom.
You have one new message.
John, it's Bob. I tried tracking you down everywhere, so I'm leaving this on your cell phone. Look, about your merger meeting this morning, whatever you do, avoid the boardroom. I was talking to maintenance, and they just lacquered the table, and it needs 24 hours to dry. Man, I hope you get this.
With ordinary cell phones, you leave messages, but with Nextel Direct Connect, the digital two-way radio, you get right through.
That snowball is a great way to tell customers Staples has technology gifts.
Greetings. Handhelds make terrific gifts. So do digital cameras.
Nice price. Excuse me, could you tell me about the scanner fax copier?
No.
But I want to get it for my brother.
Get him a cell phone.
No, he really wants one of these.
He can't have her. I love her.
What?
No, no, no. Weeping, weeping.
It's okay. We found you someone else.
Oh.
Get more for less at Staples.
Access NFL.com now on America Online. Get live game day coverage and real-time stats at AOL keyword NFL.com.
Emmy winner Patricia Heaton, Emmy winner Peter Falk.
I don't believe a mystical force is working to bring us together.
A Town Without Christmas, CBS tonight.
Final minute of this third quarter, and devastating drive against that Miami defense, and how inspiring for San Francisco. 11 minutes 5 seconds. They had 17 plays. Miami had only 21 offensive plays the whole first half. Cortez spins it to Chambers at the 8. And Chris Chambers fumbled the ball, and I believe Miami did fall on it. Looked like Dion Dyer was there. Yes, Dyer, the backup fullback, able to fall on the fumble. Big hit by Terry Jackson to knock it free, and getting up slow is George McCullough. Timeout.
Checking out digital cameras?
Yeah, I need FireWire compatibility so that I can email my pictures.
Sure. This one also makes MPEG movies.
Really?
He's excited. It's for our baby. Congratulations. Considered any names yet?
Yeah, maybe Sony or Olympus, but you're the expert, right?
We know how you feel, and that's why we're here. Circuit City. We're with you.
How about an LCD screen?
LCD, chickenpox. We're going to screen for everything.
There's a light in your soul that says you're one of a kind. Don't never let it go. Be original, an individual, yeah, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. There's nothing better. Be you, do what you.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals?
Go!
No. Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. Man, that is awesome. Get Selsun Power.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Circuit City. We know how you feel, that's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. And by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pick Enterprise, we'll pick you up.
Makes you proud of mankind when you realize what can be engineered. And one of the big thrills was to walk that Golden Gate Bridge and realize just how huge it is. As is the deficit staring at Miami. 21-0 here in the final minute of the third quarter, and Lamar Smith dropped by Derek Smith again as just before play resumed. Jeff Garcia jogging off to the dressing room for the 49ers. Let's see if we'll get a report on that. Doesn't appear to be anything wrong. Maybe his arm's hurting from all those handoffs on that last drive. 35 yards rushing. Second down. A long 4. Knocked away by Lance Shoulders at the last minute. Tight end, or Jed Weaver, the intended receiver. Shoulders came a long way to knock it incomplete. And that's the end of the third quarter here in San Francisco, with the 49ers leading the Miami Dolphins 21-0. We'll return to 3Com Park after this message and a word from your local station.
If the phone company can call you whenever they want, try calling them and see how far you get.
For all questions about your bill, press 1.
60 Minutes tonight.
Joe Mantegna, James Garner. First Monday, a new series premiering January 15th.
The whole family gets together. A Domino's hot, deep dish, 1-inch thick pizza arrives. And now you know why you wanted to be an only child. Call now for your deep dish pizza delivered piping hot to your door. Get the door. It's Domino's. Now get a medium ultimate deep dish pizza with 2 toppings for only $8.99, and for dessert, try our Cinesticks with sweet creamy icing for just $2.99. Call Domino's now.
There's one brand of truck strong enough to carry the American spirit. That's why Chevrolet has extended 0% financing on every new truck we build. Silverado to Avalanche, Suburban to Trailblazer, They're the trucks behind a country that never quits, and you can own one interest-free. So keep America rolling and make your money count at your local Chevy dealer today.
We know you're busy this time of year, so here's a preview of all the items Furniture Row Outlet has in for the Gift Ideas Special Purchase. Well, that's a lot of ideas. Here's a better idea. Come down to our store and check out deals like this 5-piece dining set for just $149 and a super comfortable recliner for just $295. Plus, this is your last chance before Christmas to get no payments and no interest for 1 full year. Furniture Row Outlet. Good gift stuff for a great deal less. 3540 Commercial Street, Southeast.
Watch Ken Bobby and Karen Adams on Coin 6 News.
San Francisco, a 3rd and 4 play to the sidelines, incomplete, intended for Chris Chambers, and it sails high and away. Oh, Miami will have to punt it. And here comes Garcia sprinting back to work. What a story he is. Never gave up on himself, and Bill Walsh has been a tremendous ally in that regard. Walsh promoting him for many years to get a chance. Matt Turk's kick is to Vinny Sutherland at the 22, and he's pulled down at the 25 by Terry Cousin. Timeout just underway in the 4th quarter. Miami down by 21.
The cars from Chrysler. Exhilarating performance. Incredible engineering. And of course, eye-catching designs.
Hey, sweetie. I got your email.
Uh-huh.
Where you said you were okay?
Uh-huh.
So? Was that good okay or okay okay?
No, Dad, I'm, okay.
Not so okay.
Uh-huh. But it's good to hear your voice.
Japanese are expecting a war.
Now on DVD and video, history comes alive.
We have to strike the heart of Japan the way they have hit us.
Pearl Harbor. Own it now on DVD and video.
Look at these. Do you remember which one he wants?
I can't remember what we had for breakfast. Want a gift you can't get wrong? I remember.
What?
Eggs.
The Best Buy gift card. This holiday, turn on the fun.
I had eggs for breakfast.
You're not helping.
CBS Thursday. The Lions are getting hungry.
Oh.
Good old Tom is getting frisky. And what's in these ostrich eggs? That's going to save one of the survivors. Oh my God. Who will be voted out next?
The interesting tribal council.
All new Survivor, CBS Thursday.
Welcome back to Ken Berg, Dan Deerdorf, Bonnie Bernstein, Mike Arnold, our director, and Lance Farrow, our producer from San Francisco, where Jeff Garcia and the 49ers with a sizable 21-0 lead start at their own 25. And Garrison Hurst, a gain of a yard or two on first down. Let's go down to Bonnie.
Well, Dick, Jeff Garcia literally just walked out of the locker room after having been treated for a rib injury. He took a shot at the end of the first half, and I asked Steve Mariucci at halftime, was there any problem? He said no, but you could clearly tell on the series prior to this that he was struggling a little bit, but obviously not enough to keep him out of the game.
Now, my guess is he took a shot in the first half, and he just took a shot now in the second half.
Something to block the pain.
Probably so. Tough business. It's this hasn't been the best of games to be quarterbacks as far as being put on the ground. Both of these guys, Jay Fiedler and Jeff Garcia, have taken some big hits.
Blitz, and Hurst is tackled hard at the 28-yard line by Brian Walker, the strong safety.
Well, I was just mentioning about the quarterbacks. Here's a little composite package. There goes Garcia. Fiedler with just the entire pocket collapsing on him, getting driven into the ground, and both of these guys have been under duress. Obviously, Jeff Garcia has the liberty of having a ground game going for him that Jay Fiedler does not, and he's got a 21-0 lead. So I guarantee you that tomorrow Jay Fiedler going to be more sore than Jeff Garcia. The loser always is, and that's where the Dolphins appear to be headed.
Third down try. Oh, Pat Surtain had cut in front of J.J. Stokes. Well, appeared to have the ball, but a flag down.
Well, Pat Surtain helped himself. He grabbed Stokes. I don't know if this is going to go against Surtain or not, but he was all over Stokes.
Illegal check.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 31 defense, a 5-yard penalty, and a first down.
Well, they actually called Brock Marion's number, but that's it right there. Pat Surtain with the right hand right up into the face mask of J.J. Stokes. Poor Brock Marion, who's just coming up late to help out, gets singled out by referee Ron Winter, but that was Pat Surtain.
And the first down for the Niners at their 35-yard line. They've rushed for 136 yards. That's 101 more than Miami today. And Hurst, no hole that time. Mixon and Walker there to make the stop. Tomorrow it's a very merry Monday. Mary Tyler Moore reunites with Ed Asner, Cloris Leachman on The Ellen Show, plus all new episodes of your favorite comedies, King of Queens, Everybody Loves Raymond, and Yesteryear. That's all tomorrow on CBS. 12:47 and the clock running here in the fourth quarter in San Francisco as the 49ers trying to go 10-3 on the season. 2nd and 10, Hurst. And invading the backfield and making the stop was Ernest Grant, the second-year defensive tackle from Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah, and Zach Thomas came in after Grant got around the legs to help finish him off. It's always enjoyable sitting down talking to Zach Thomas. Such a great character, good guy, and a football personality. But Dave Wannstedt made the Dolphins go out to practice on Wednesday without even wearing helmets. They just went out in shorts and T-shirts. And Zach, being a veteran, knows that if that didn't pan out today with a good performance, that would be the end of that. So Miami, find your shoulder pads next Wednesday because it's going to be a big practice.
Terry Jackson picks up about 8 yards before Thomas and Walker make the stop, and that'll bring up 4th down. And the reason for the Wednesday trying to take it a little easy on his team, of course, they played Monday night at home against Indianapolis, had to fly all the way to the West Coast for the game today, and Dave Wannstedt trying to give them a little breather. He said we got the same kind of work done, just no hitting, and that's what's left for Miami at New England next Saturday, and that has become a mammoth game in the AFC. And then at home against Atlanta and Buffalo, both defeated today and out of the playoffs.
It's a tall order, Dick, having 2 short weeks back to back and throwing in that coast-to-coast trip. Huh? The schedule maker not real kind to the Dolphins here in these 3-game stretch. This 3-game stretch.
Turk's punt ran off a Dolphin. It was Terry Cousin. He was there to fall on it and save further embarrassment. Jimmy Williams down there for San Francisco. Miami will try to muster something starting from their own 27-yard line. A timeout. 10:59 left in the fourth quarter.
Do you think you're making a difference? We do. Since you started being a designated driver, or calling a cab for a friend, or serving responsibly, drunk driving fatalities are down 37%. To all who are making a difference, thank you.
It's a better place to live. It's a better place to live. Thanks to you.
Oh, there's no place like home for the
This holiday season, Lowe's brings home improvement home for the holidays. With gifts at $100, $50, even $30. And Lowe's promises low prices every day, guaranteed. For 55 years, we've been helping families celebrate the holidays.
You can't beat home, sweet home.
And if you still can't decide what to get, give a Lowe's gift card. Now that's improving home improvement.
Tonight, I ask you to take my sins and the sins of my family into your merciful heart.
Anthony Soprano, we have a warrant to search your house.
Baby, you
just can't see me happy.
It's over months ago.
Yeah, right.
no different than before.
I'm a no movie. I got nothing to say to you.
Now you won't even accept food from your own mother.
We want to stay Italian and preserve the things that meant something to us. Honor and family and loyalty.
The Sopranos, the complete second season, now available on DVD and video.
Christmas weekend kicks off with a crucial clash in the AFC East as the Dolphins drive into New England to battle the Patriots. Next Saturday on CBS.
We said at the start, both teams have had incredible success this year, rallying from a deficit in the fourth quarter. It would be some rally for Miami if they can overcome that 21-0 San Francisco lead. They start at the 27. Fiedler. Open man is James McKnight, and he's across the 50 into the San Francisco 48 before Jason Webster can make the tackle. Fine throw by Fiedler.
Boy, we haven't seen a Miami receiver open like that in a while. They make this look awfully easy working against the 49er zone. And that is this is a much needed big play for the Miami Dolphins as they get to the other side of the field. Or if they could just get anything on the scoreboard, even if they don't win the game, anything at all to hang their hat on offensively.
That's their longest play of the game, 27 yards. Screen, Travis Minor, the rookie running back, and it's read well by Bryant Young and Dana Stubblefield. Well, who's the best quarterback never to win a Super Bowl? That's our question. Just log on, cast your vote at NFL.com, and Carl Sweetan does not qualify.
Of course, a few guys before the Super Bowl, some names like, maybe a guy like Unitas or Sammy Baugh or Otto Graham.
Second down and 10 from the 46-yard line. Fiedler under pressure again, and that's the fourth San Francisco sack. Bryant Young trying to rip the ball away as well as Chike O'Keefer, number 91, celebrates, and Young slow getting up.
BY, as he's affectionately known to his 49er teammates. Trainer Lindsey McLean's going to take him over to the sideline.
In and out. Good. Keep the victim calm. And 1 and 2 and 3.
Okay, there you go. That's over 100 channels, sports, news, digital music. Installation's free, and it's only $31.99 a month.
Just $31.99 a month gets you over 100 channels of DirecTV programming. Right now with free professional installation.
So it was the digital music that... Yeah.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals?
Go! Go!
No. Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. Man, that thing's awesome. Get Selsun Power. Now through Sunday at Zales, take up to an extra $300 off with bonus dollar savings on all diamonds. Like this $19.99 8-carat diamond bracelet, now just $16.99. At Zales, the diamond store.
Let's belt it out for your Pittsburgh Steelers!
I don't care what stadium you work for, all right? If you want to write a check for who let the dogs out, I'm still going to need to see some ID.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of cash or checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV, the #1 digital satellite entertainment provider. Message from America. Visit Circuit City today to record your message. And by Selsun Blue Shampoo to help keep your dandruff from sending the wrong signal.
Out on Half Moon Bay, a surfing contest. You think of that for Southern California, but they can ride the waves up here as well. Third down and 16. Miami shotgun. 4 sacks now. That's the most allowed by Miami all season in the game. Good protection this time, and down the middle. Intercepted by Lance's shoulders. Or was it? No, didn't hang on.
Yeah, he dropped it. He had it and let it go. Oh, look at the pained look on Lance's face.
That would have been a kick against the man who coached him at Hofstra a few years ago.
Trying to get the ball to Chris Chambers. Throws it way too far to the inside, and Schulter's just, man, not going to have many easier picks than that. Just has to go right through his hands.
Back in '97 when Hofstra thought he was out of football for good, back coaching as an assistant. Shoulders at Hofstra, and Vinny Sutherland handling a very tough, high, wobbly punt. It'll be Miami looking at San Francisco at the Niners 25.
I had a river I could skate away on. I wish I had a river so long.
Fight the good fight, fellas. Come home soon.
I just want to say thank you from this proud American.
Wish I had a river.
You don't even know me, and you're risking your life for me. Thank you.
John Nash was one of the greatest minds of his generation. You are the best codebreaker I have ever seen. But the extraordinary gift that set him apart.
Something happened?
I got myself into something.
Would push him
out there.
Who?
Beyond his limits.
Ron, talk to me!
From director Ron Howard and producer Brian Grazer, Academy Award winner Russell Crowe. A Beautiful Mind. Rated PG-13 at select theaters Friday.
CBS Thursday. One night, 2 cases, 3 bodies.
How are you at solving puzzles?
See why piecing together the evidence is murder. All new CSI. And is the head of the CIA giving away secrets? Now the truth comes out.
The president has lost confidence in him.
All new Agency. CBS Thursday.
Replaced Bill Walsh as the general manager, former UCLA coach, former CBS broadcaster Terry Donahue. You see his Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame ring. He went in last year with our partner Dan Deerdorf and Marcus Allen, Michael Haynes, John Elway, and others.
You know, Dick, one of the things that Terry Donahue and the whole 49er organization is having to deal with is that they have $20 million this year in what's known as dead money. In other words, that players who are no longer here, bonuses that have been accrued, which means that that's $20 million of talent that they can't put on the roster. Now, next year, that figure is going to drop down to about $12 million, but they're going to have some free agents they'd like to get signed. So managing and running a football team, a whole lot more involved than just evaluating talent. There's a lot of dollars that have to be juggled.
You saw Mariucci, and he talked about how that's impacting him other than just the obvious, as the give is to Kevin Barlow. He said that what concerns him is with this very young defense. He said, we've got a lot of good young players, but they're all going to be eligible for free agency at the same time. And already he's thinking about, how many do I get to keep?
Coaches love to worry, and Steve already worried about 2 or 3 years down the road. But it's in this new NFL where talent comes and goes, and you've got to identify the ones that you think are going to be your very best, the ones who fill the biggest need on your ball club. You've got to be thinking down the road. If you're not, you're woefully behind the curve.
3rd down and 6 for Garcia. Triple left. Scampers out of the pocket and then throws it away as he's struck down by Kenny Mixon.
And that hurt. That hurt. Jeff Garcia hit the ground pretty hard, and that one that was not a feel-good moment. Jason Taylor is in there chasing him around. David Bowens, number 96. You can see how hard he hits on that right side. Bowens gets him down around the ankles, and Garcia upset as he unsnapped his chin strap.
Jason Baker hasn't had a lot of punch today. The rookie from Iowa sends a nice spiral toward Jeff Ogden at the 28. Ogden runs into his own man and down at the 32-yard line. Brian Jennings, the man who snapped the ball, in on that tackle.
There's a light in your soul, says you're one of a kind. Don't never let it go. Be original, an individual, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper, be you, do what
Be sure to pick up Garth's new album, Scarecrow, wherever great music is sold.
I think this photo paper is just what you're looking for. Wow, great price.
David White, 3-time Employee of the Month, Dan.
He has a natural ability to match a customer's needs with his budget. Really a go-to guy in these situations.
Last year, I ordered my costume on a cell phone. I know I said Santa suit, but with the static.
I'm Panda Claus.
Oh, help me. Elves! You know, the show must go on.
Help Santa Claus into the chair. Okay, bring the kids.
That's when I finally got free and clear with Sprint PCS, real clear calls, and nationwide long distance included, which is great for me, because I am Santa Claus, you know?
The Sprint PCS free and clear plan with nationwide long distance included. Every minute, every day.
Good value.
Price is right. What's the resolution?
2400 DPI.
Oh, brilliant display of team chemistry, Dan.
Yeah, Charles Rosen and Matt Herman not only have a command of the products, they anticipate exactly where the other's going to be on the floor.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint PCS, the clear alternative to cellular. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper.
Steve Mariucci coming off the sidelines to sit next to his quarterback, Jeff Garcia. Concerned as to his health. He's probably saying, hey, if you don't feel right, we'll put Tim Rattay in, give him a chance. He hasn't thrown a pass all year.
And he was just sitting to Mariucci's right, maybe doing a little lobbying.
Fiedler throws, and a nice catch made on his knees by Jeff Ogden for a first down. Bonnie?
Well, Dick, I can tell you the last 2 times Jeff Garcia has come off the field, Steve Mariucci sat down next to him on the bench and had discussions in earnest asking him, can you make all the throws? And Garcia has said yes. That being said, though, every time he goes to take throws on the side, he's adjusting his flak jacket, and you can tell he's uncomfortable.
Fiedler dumps it off to Minor, and the rookie gets a couple of yards up to the 46-yard line.
You saw Steve Mariucci as he got up tap Tim Rattay on the left leg, kind of giving him the "it's all yours, kiddo." And yeah, he's put on his helmet. I think Jeff Garcia, a good day, but he's finished.
Fiedler has himself in a muddle again, as that would be another sack as O'Keefer in on him.
I think, is this the 5th sack of the day?
Yes.
Wow. And keep in mind, this is a football team that only had given up 13 sacks in the prior 12 games coming into today. The 49ers have done a great job of collapsing this pocket.
Fiedler scrambling ahead with 45. Boy, that's a heck of a run by the 225-pounder out of the Ivy League. He gets a first down. The former decathlete himself.
But the one thing for the 49er defensive line, not many things more fun than being up 14-0 right away and getting to rush that passer and give up playing the run.
Longest run for Miami today, 21 yards. Fiedler gets it. Here's Minor struggling down to the 32, a gain of about 5.
Just to tell you, everybody, how bad the day has been going for Miami. Prior to the start of this drive, they were below 100 yards total offense. We were more than halfway through the 4th quarter, and they hadn't even gone over the century mark yet.
Yeah, Garrison Hurst had 110 yards, and Miami had 99. Minor to the 27-yard line, be short of the first down.
Sometimes you try to make a substitution. There's Reggie McGrew.
Which one? Tackle in motion. That's a.
Well, luckily, a defensive guy can't be flagged for being in motion, but pretty tough to rush the passer from out there, lined up across from one of the wide receivers.
You see Garcia, his ribs getting some attention.
They're peeling off some of his pads and some of the protection. That's what they're trying to do to protect an isolated spot.
Fiedler with the sneak got the first down. On the run throws, and it's intercepted by Jason Webster. And the young cornerback back out to the 25-yard line where Ogden knocks him down. So Jay Fiedler, who was intercepted early in the first quarter, he's fumbled one away and now another intercept.
Well, Webster has the underneath coverage here, Dick, and then he's going to fall back off of it. You see, he came back in. He was up front guarding James McKnight, and then he fell back into it. Fiedler sees Webster. He's covering McKnight. He's trying to get it down there to Ogden, and you just don't count on the corner falling back in. That's an excellent play by Jason Webster. Give him credit. That's not so much Fiedler's fault as that's just an outstanding play by a second-year corner, Jason Webster.
It's his third interception of the year. He played at Texas A&M. Yes, sir, with Plummer and Webster at those two corners. That's 10 interceptions between them this year. Both second-year corners. Garrison, Hurst, he's out to the 32-yard line, leading 21-0. He runs with just as much, if not more, determination. Tomorrow on CBS begins with King of Queens, and then it's a very merry Monday. Mary Tyler Moore reunites with Ed Asner, Cloris Leachman on The Ellen Show, and that'll be followed by all new episodes of Everybody Loves Raymond, Yes Dear, and Family Law tomorrow night on CBS. And at the controls now, Tim Rattay from Louisiana Tech. Last year as a rookie, he threw one pass for a -4 yards. He hasn't thrown one this year. Played his high school ball in Phoenix, Arizona. First with that run goes over the 100-yard mark today, and Zach Thomas lays the pads on him. You could hear that tackle.
Boy, you sure could, Dick. And you know what, Zach Thomas is doing something pretty cool. He and Jason Taylor are involved with this, with the Bonacani Fund to cure paralysis, and they've got a deal called Put the Crunch on Paralysis. They're both contributing money for each one of the tackles that they make today. Zach Thomas is contributing $100 per tackle, $1,000 per sack. He and Jason Taylor are doing that together. They've been matched by some corporations in Miami, and so far this year they've raised $84,000. Last year with Trace Armstrong's involvement, they did $140,000. Pretty cool.
Looked like Rattay had trouble taking the snap from center. Mixon pulling Rattay away from the ball, but San Francisco maintains no turnovers by the 49ers today. 3 against Miami.
That was an ankle snap by Newberry. That ball never came up at all.
Well, next Saturday on CBS, big basketball encounter as the Kentucky Wildcats take on their neighbors to the north, the Indiana Hoosiers in Indianapolis, on the home of the NCAA Championship, CBS Sports. For more, go to cbs.sportsline.com. America Online, keywords CBS Sportsline.
It's a snappy piece of music. I really like it.
Basketball is here. First, ball scored for a yard. Plenty of beef on him. Lorenzo Bromell, Jermaine Haley, Brock Marion, timeout. 2:09 left in the fourth. A long day for Wannstedt.
And so with winter's coming, Santa's little helpers took up their hammers and set to work making the holidays happier.
So what'd you expect? Elves?
At the Home Depot, we're driving down the cost of gift giving with special buys like these workshop workhorses. A Porter cable sander or Ryobi grinder, your choice, $35. And don't forget, Home Depot gift cards are always the right size. In-store or online, the best gifts come in a bright orange box. The Home Depot.
And welcome back to San Francisco, and there's our CBS doubleheader lineup. There was 5 early games, of course, the Saturday game, Miami at New England, and we're getting on the Red Long Johns. The Cleveland at Green Bay will be huddling up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It all begins Sunday at noon Eastern with NFL Today. Well, Dave Wanstead did everything he could on a short week, and then another short week with a Saturday game in New England on the road. Mixon drags down Hurst. Even on the flight out from Miami yesterday, he put all of his first teamers and the linemen up in first class. He sat and coached. He tried. San Francisco too much today.
We're looking for the closest shave. Oh, not his. Couldn't get the tough spots. But he did. He got total closeness with the new Remington TCT, the only shaver designed to get the tough spots. With a unique system that first trims the hard-to-get hairs, followed by 3 flexing foils to cut even closer. And now introducing the new Remington Rotary TCT. More flexing action than any other. The new Remington TCT shavers. Total closeness or your money back.
Happy holidays from your friends at Miller.
Mr. Fletcher, Mr. Smith, heads, it's Wendy's Chicken Bacon Swiss. Tails, it's Wendy's Bacon Swiss Cheeseburger. Call in the air. Tails. Heads! Heads! No, heads! Heads! No, I mean tails!
Can't decide between Wendy's delicious new Chicken Bacon Swiss and Wendy's delicious new Bacon Swiss Cheeseburger? Each topped with hickory smoked bacon and tangy Swiss? Try them both. It's win-win.
Hey, fry man, over here!
Here you go. For girls and boys, it's a fact. In every Wendy's kids meal, Grinch toys are back.
This boy's father murdered his mother. Tuesday, the system is setting him free.
Not guilty.
Now, attorney Nick Fallon will face his most personal custody battle.
I want my son back.
You're going to place my grandson with the man who killed his mother.
I am here to represent that child.
Can I get back with my dad?
All new Guardian, CBS Tuesday.
We're back in San Francisco, and look at the AFC Eastern standings with Miami credited with a loss, 9-4. You look at 9-4 against New England, 9-5 next Saturday. If New England should win that game, they would have the edge in the division record. And oh my, then the Patriots, where did they come from?
And then after that game, New England gets a bye, and then they finish out the season, Dick, playing at Carolina. So it is a talk about a game of magnitude next week. Next Saturday, right here on CBS, New England and Miami. And again, Dave Wanstead has to deal with another short week. So I'm sure in this long plane ride back to South Florida, he's going to be thinking different ways I can try to get my team back in the saddle.
Well, there's not been a game any bigger than that one this season on CBS. Next Saturday, 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 here in the West. The Dolphins and Patriots with that whole AFC East in the balance, and it all begins at 12:30 with Jim Nantz and the entire gang.
Well, the Bears served notice on the 49ers with a win this morning, and then the 49ers came right back and said we're not to be outdone. They countered.
Now 49ers now with 1:52 left, and Miami having spent all 3 of its timeouts. Baker to punt it. Well, at 21st and prime time, that's becoming a popular intersection. They're going to have to get you one of those in St. Louis, Dan. You know, Baker gets it off. Diedrich Ward fields this one, and for a catch at the 27-yard line.
Well, the other thing that's interesting here, Dick, are the 49ers now. They're going to turn around and start rooting for New Orleans as they play the Rams tomorrow night down in New Orleans. And they're hoping that New Orleans is able to pin a loss on the Rams to break them to 10-3. You see right there, you're taking a look at that, and the 49ers would move to 10-3 with a win here today. And they're hoping that New Orleans could tag that 3rd loss on the Rams. It would give them the same records, but keep in mind the Rams would be in first place because the Rams have beaten the 49ers twice. The Niners have to finish a game ahead of the Rams to finish ahead of them. A tie won't do it.
Well, there's action before the snap. 49ers on the defensive left side charging where they pulled offside. 1:45 left. If you're just joining us, San Francisco off early. They intercepted Fiedler in the opening moments of the game and went on to score on a touchdown by Barlow of 2 yards.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 97 defense. Moving into the neutral zone to cause the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
There's Big Ray Brown being rested here in the fourth quarter. They said he lost a lot of fluids today, so relaxing and
39 years old.
Amazing.
You know what he is? He is the last St. Louis Cardinal that is still playing in the National Football League. Drafted by the Cardinals when they were still in St. Louis.
1986, an 8th-round choice. Here's Fiedler on the scramble and the slide at the 37-yard line, right at the yardsticks. We'll see where they mark it. This is just a drive of pride for Miami, trying to get something on the board. They have not been shut out twice in a season in many, many moons. They were blanked by the Jets earlier. That's Ogden with a catch in front of Webster, and that'll be a first down at the 49-yard line. Hurrying up with 1:08 left. Fiedler hit as he throws and almost intercepted as it went off the hands of James McKnight, and Jason Webster looking for his second pick of the day.
I think Andre Carter might have been the gentleman again, number 96 right there. Look at him get around the corner on Falau. Boy, that's become his favorite move, that upfield rush. And boy, a lot of times when a ball gets kicked into the air like McKnight had to go off his hands, that ends up being an interception.
Well, Carter had a couple of sacks last week against Orlando Pace, the great left tackle of the Rams, and they feel that Carter is starting to mature at just the right time as a pass rusher. Screen it to Minor, gets a great block. 40, 30, and doesn't get out of bounds, so the clock continues to run at the 29-yard line. 50 seconds tonight on CBS, 60 minutes. We all have our problems with the phone company. You'll hear a great story tonight, then Touched by an Angel, and then the movie with Emmy Award-winning actors, The Town Without Christmas, all on CBS tonight.
Now Fiedler just spiked the ball into the ground while you were busy there, Dick. You didn't miss much.
But I love that play. Well, the gang back in New York have collected all the scores in the top place, and what a terrible thing in Cleveland. For those of you who didn't see that, there'll be added reports and coverage of a very angry incident at the end of the Cleveland game today. 2nd and 10 for Fiedler. Another sack for San Francisco. This one will be credited to Chike O'Keefer. He was a surprise starter today, and he's got a couple of sacks. First of the year for him.
Well, Jay just can't find anywhere to go, and then when he goes to the right, even though O'Keefer was well blocked by Todd Wade, Jay just ran right into him.
Fiedler to the end zone, intercepted by Lance. No, it's Brock Bronson, Zach Bronson, who makes the interception. Bronson, who has his 4th of the year, and that completes a just absolutely disastrous day for Jay Fiedler. 3 interceptions and a fumble.
Well, just trying to make something happen. Tough to hang this one all on Jay Fiedler's doorstep, trying to find Chris Chambers. At this stage in the ball game, inside 20 seconds, you got to take a chance. But this is not an offensive football team that's really built to come back from a 14-0 lead. This is not a sophisticated passing offense. This is a team that's built to play where it's a close game or protecting a lead, not coming from a big deficit.
Well, the 49ers who shut out Buffalo 2 weeks ago will have 2 shutouts, the first time in 27 years. The 49ers very impressive today as we move toward the playoffs, strengthen their position at 10-3 for Steve Mariucci, and for the Dolphins, defeated soundly twice this year, and both times in the NFC at St. Louis and now at San Francisco, although the Jets got them twice and did shut them out in Miami.
Well, it is a long way from San Francisco to Miami, and it's going to seem even longer than it is on that Miami charter.
So the San Francisco 49ers with a 21-0 shutout of the Miami Dolphins. A couple 9-3 teams, but San Francisco and Jeff Garcia with a hotter hand. Stay tuned for the NFL Today and all the news of this football Sunday around the National Football League. This is Dick Enberg for Dan Deerdorf and Bonnie Bernstein. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you in Green Bay next Sunday. The 49ers celebrate 21-0.
This is a message from America to the extraordinary men and women who are serving their nation during this holiday season. From the folks back home.
Just get yourselves home safely and take care of business while you're there.
Three. Against the Chicago Bears, they have won 6 in a row. Autry Denson is the deep man for the Bears. And this game is underway, and the kick is short, end over end, and on the run. Autry Denson returning for the Bears. Fumbles, and the Redskins seem to have it. The Redskins recover. So an inauspicious start for the Chicago Bears, who come in with a 1-game lead over the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Central.
Well, this is the one thing that the Chicago Bears cannot afford to do. They cannot give up a short field. It looks like Autry Denson just dropped the ball. You can see Dante Curry, number 57, there being blocked. Looked like he got a hand in possibly, but I think Autry Denson just dropped that ball.
And Darius Thompson recovers it for the Redskins.
That's exactly what it looked like, Moose, that Autry Denson just dropped the ball. And with the short kick, they were going to get great field position to start this ball game.
And you wonder why Leon Johnson, who normally returns the kicks, was not back there. So the Redskins will start on the Bears' 32-yard line to try to take advantage of that miscue. And Stephen Davis gets about 4 yards on the play. Ted Washington in on the tackle. Davis, the leading rusher in the NFC, coming in with over 1,100 yards. Tony Banks, last week, 2 interceptions. Both were killers to the Redskins in the red zone against the Eagles. So the Redskins have dropped 2 out of 3 at home. Here is Davis again, and he is knocked back. And a fine play is made by Roosevelt Colvin, the linebacker. The Redskins offensive line, and outstanding tackles in Chris Samuels and John Jansen, with Zott, Raymer, and Coleman in the middle. The weapon, of course, is Stephen Davis. The rookie Rod Gardner and Michael Westbrook are the wide receivers, and Walter Rasby at tight end. Redskins missing David Alexander, out with a broken bone for the rest of the year, and he was quite a weapon. And the 2 massive tackles are out right now. Traylor and Washington on 3rd and 7. Out of the shotgun, Tony Banks, and Banks loses the ball. And the Bears get it back. And it was Roosevelt Colvin had knocked the ball away from Tony Banks, and Philip Daniels recovers for the Chicago Bears, who breathe a sigh of relief and get the ball back.
Well, and that's something that this defense has been doing all year long. They're very opportunistic in the way that they play. And Tony Banks has got to be more careful with the football. He steps up, as you mentioned, Roosevelt Colvin with the hit, which knocks it loose, and Philip Daniels there to make the recovery. But when Tony Banks gets in a crowd, he has got to be able to secure the football, and that's an area that hurt them last week, and they were unable to take advantage of good field position in the game last week.
So those are Tony Banks' fumble statistics, and the pass out on the flat to Marty Booker, and the Bears wide receiver will have enough for a first down. Booker coming in as the leading receiver for the Chicago Bears, and of course one of their big strengths is that offensive line with Rockermeyer and Tucker, who've been banged up. Olin Kreutz at center, with Chris Valerial and the big cat James Williams at right tackle. Anthony Thomas, the leading rookie rusher in the NFC. Booker and Des White, the receivers, and Fred Baxter, who had a big game last week at tight end.
And they're in their 3-wide package right now.
And the handoff is to Thomas, going off the right side, and a good gain. Anthony Thomas picking up nearly 7 yards before Marco Coleman brings him down. Let's check out the Redskins defensively. Veteran Bruce Smith, Kennard Lang, Dan Wilkinson, and Marco Coleman up front. Antonio Pierce, the rookie, getting a start at wide at the weak side linebacker. Robert Jones moving over to the middle. with Kevin Mitchell out, and Fred Smoot and Champ Bailey the corners, David Terrell and Sam Shade at safety. 2nd down and 4 in Redskin territory. Play action, and the pass is caught by Damon Shelton, and the Bears fullback holds on and makes the catch before going out of bounds.
Yeah, and they put the ball on again. Nobody seems to be able to hang on to the football today, but the play before that, what we saw was that they came into a 3-wide package. And one of the reasons that they're doing that is that the Bears feel that if they can go to the 3-wide, what that does is the Washington Redskins match them with their personnel. So it brings in Washington Redskins nickel back, meaning they've got 5 defensive backs, and you notice that they run the football. That's an area that they want to do. Bring in nickel people and run the ball.
And that means Darrell Green, the 41-year-old, who is coming back next year for a 20th season. Here is Thomas trying to find running room, and he does around the left side and goes out of bounds. And it looks like that muff on the opening kickoff woke up the Chicago Bears. That was a 13-yard pickup.
Well, they're going to exactly what Troy taught. Here's your 2 linebackers right here. They take Robert Jones out of the game. They're going to run the ball with their 3 receivers. And you'll see as he goes outside right there, Marty Booker on Champ Bailey. That is the matchup that they're looking for on the perimeter in the running game, these big wide receivers against the smaller corners.
And the thing you're going to see all day from Marty Booker is that he does everything. Probably the most complete receiver in the National Football League. He's their deep threat, their possession receiver, as well as their blocker in the running game.
2 tight ends for the Bears. 1st down at the 25. And here's the wide receiver screen to Des White. And White, who is 2nd in receiving but has yet to score a touchdown this year, picks up 5, chased out of bounds by the rookie Fred Smoot.
Well, here's to illustrate the last point. Marty Booker, he's lining up in the slot here, and he's going out and blocking as they run this wide receiver screen to Des White, and that's something that Marty Booker takes tremendous pride in, not only as a catch receiver, but he takes tremendous pride in being able to get out there and make blocks in the running game.
Big receivers, good blockers for the Bears. 2nd and 5, Jim Miller, the quarterback, and he'll go to Anthony Thomas again. But this time the Redskins come up, led by LeVar Arrington, and a loss of 1 on the play.
And you talk about LeVar Arrington and the year that he's having, he has been tremendous. You know, he talked about last year, how last year he would just as soon forget. It was a nightmare season for him. He's a young guy, was just getting acclimated to what was expected of him in the National Football League, learning a new defense, the tempo and the speed of the game. And this year the light has come on, and he's played exceptional all year long.
3rd down and 6 from the 21. Jim Miller finds Marty Booker, but he can't hold on. Booker had a step on Champ Bailey, but he could not hold on to the pass. Otherwise, he might have gone in, and that will bring up 4th down, and the field goal team is on.
Yeah, it's a real staple of the Chicago Bears offense, running the drag route and trying to stretch the defense with him. And LeVar Arrington, number 56, doesn't blitz a lot, but he's able to come over Olin Kreutz and get pressure and run him right back into Jim Miller.